Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic Saturday here on Exploding Dice. My name is Askren, and I am your host and dungeon master for the evening, as we are playing not the Writhing Moon as we tend to normally do here on Saturdays. We have a bit of a change up for you today, but we still want to provide the thrills and the horror and the awesome open legend gameplay. So we have put together a little something else for you. As you can see below, I just need to sort out my some cameras real quick. But oh man, sorry, studio mode off. But before we dive into all of this, and before we tell you guys a little bit about what we're playing, why don't we say hello to our fantastic cast, and who are standing below me. And this time I'm gonna unmute them on OBS so you can actually hear them. What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing?
Good, yeah.
Doing good.
Good to hear. Yeah, my setup is a little bit finicky today. I'm gonna try and make it work. I have a display driver issue, which is making it very weird to run things as I normally do. But we're trying. So I guess there's not a lot to really explain. Normally we have a recap and stuff, but actually before we get into characters and we get into our game, let me do some announcements. Some really cool things have been going on this week, and I want to make sure you guys are informed about all of them. First and foremost, if you have not already, please both hit that retweet link that Dice Thulu has for you, just exclamation point retweet in chat. Let all your friends know that you're hanging out and watching some Open Legend gameplay here on Exploding Dice, and it's gonna be awesome. I didn't see what that was, Speedy. Looked like a
It was just a sign. It was just a sign that Yami made for me.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I saw Will and Sydney got one of those too.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So what else? We also have the giveaway, the Yawning Portal giveaway, along with a player's handbook and a Wormwood Gaming dice vault and some dice. That is still going on, so exclamation point giveaway is the way to get in on that. If you're already following the Twitch channel and on Twitter, then you're already entered, so go claim those. Oh, big news, actually. We had to postpone it last week. I was supposed to be hanging out with Mike Merles, the lead designer for Dungeons & Dragons over at Wizards of the Coast. He was supposed to be hanging out with me on Fuzzy Dice last Tuesday, but we had some scheduling issues, and we decided to postpone it, and so we moved it to this Tuesday, which was really cool, because we got to do a longer show and some more giveaway stuff. But then something extra cool happened, and it turns out that this Tuesday, Fuzzy Dice will be broadcast live on the front page of Twitch. We're going to be occupying that awesome front page spot, representing the role-playing game community. Yeah, we're going to be representing the role-playing game community for all of Twitch, along with some other fantastic streams that are going to be put on during the week. There's going to be giveaways that night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to hype the hell out of it. So please, guys, tell all your friends. You'll see me tweeting about it a little bit later. Make sure you share it. Make sure you help generate the hype and show up to win some cool stuff and get your D&D questions answered by the guy who wrote the rulebook for D&D 5th edition. Yeah, front page. Let's get some ED cheers in chat for that if you guys want. That's our new emote, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, Dice Thulu is raising a beer to you, and you can raise a beer with him. That's ED cheer in chat. So there was that. What other announcement did I have? I don't know. I know I had something, but it probably wasn't important.
Iron Gods.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That is a new thing. We have a brand new campaign that just started this Wednesday, and Petra over here is one of the awesome players in that campaign. We just had our first session this past week, and it was a ton of fun, and we are looking forward to many, many more. So if you guys want some midweek D&D in a really cool fantasy sci-fi setting, mashup setting, then I suggest you guys come and check out these people. They're awesome role players, and it is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's it for the announcements for now. So why don't we swing over to our players, and instead of me rambling, I will let them ramble to you. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and who you're playing today. And we'll start with Mr. Speedy.
Hello, my name is Speedy. I'm not so speedruns in chat and on Twitch. I stream a bit, but today I'm going to be playing LaSalle. He's a salty sea dog and sailor. The sea be his mistress, and he loves her with all his heart. He's been on the seas for a long time, and as such, he's taken quite an affinity to them, to the point where he can mold the waters with his hands and his thoughts. And so this is he's a bit of a waterbender, if you will, and loves the sea truly in this dark little fantasy town.
All right. And next to him we have Petra.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Yeah, as Astrid already said, I am the cast member, or I'm one member of the cast of the brand new campaign, Iron Gods. So from now on, you can see me and the others every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And there, I'm playing an arcane trickster. But today, I'm playing a human mind mage named Meredith Parker, and she has taken a liking to exploring the depths of the human mind by magical and non-magical means.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you also for the host, Skagith. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing? You just get some D&D done? Tell us about it. And last but not least, we have Lisa. Who's muted. Hold on.
Muted.
There you go.
Muted.
No, now you're not.
Not anymore.
Save those ways for me. I'm Lisa Lee. Hello. I am Lisa Bell on Twitter, and I am Danger Lily on Twitch. And on Saturdays, we play Riding Moon, but today it's a one-shot, and that's really, really, really cool. And I'm going to be playing Callista Cole, who is a demon hunter, and who is pretty damn impressed by Petra's character.
I already think the
Very,
two
very
of
cool.
them need their own show or something like that. As simply for the cool names alone.
That's right.
And then Speedy's character can be our sidekick.
Oh, I mean, that's fine, I guess. He's used to being ordered around by a captain.
And it's right, Cabin Boy and Powder Monkey. Yes.
All right. Give me 1 second here. Is this showing up? No, it's not. Good. Oh, it is. Damn it. No. So now I have to find... Okay, I have it here. That's fine. Once again, my monitor setup is pretty horrible. So we're trying to work with what we got here. Before we dive into this, I just want to remind you guys that all of the awesome sound effects and music that you guys will be hearing as soon as the game starts are supplied by our amazing friends over at Sirenscape, who do great things and make great music, especially some really great horror sounds. So looking to get some really good use out of those tonight. So let's bring things in a little bit. Let me turn this off. Sorry, I did not have this prepared. All right. So, you all have been traveling for a while. Maybe maybe you're an adventuring party, maybe you're old friends, maybe you have ties that go back a long way, but for whatever reasons that belong to you, the three of you have ended up traveling on the road, your destination, possibly to your next great adventure, possibly to the next bounty or reward, or some other treasure or clue that is important to you. But as you've been traveling along the road, you begin skirting the coast as you head south. It's a long trek to your next destination, and you won't reach it for quite a few days, so you've been stopping here and there, taverns and small camps along the way. But as you passed down into this narrow kind of valley between the sea, the clouds around you began to dim. The light of the sun was blocked out, and eventually day turned nearly into night with thick, heavy storm clouds gathering overhead. Thunder began cracking in the distance, and almost out of nowhere, and with no real way to shelter yourselves, you found yourself caught in a torrential downpour. You can hear the howling of the wind and the crashing of sea waves against the rocks below as you trudge along during the miserable weather. Between these sort of heavy clouds and this endless rain, you feel that you might as well be blind. However, in the occasional flash of light or lightning, as the rain is forced aside by a gust of howling wind, you can just barely make out the road ahead of you. A veritable river of mud that twists and winds through a dense copse of gnarled trees along the coastline that is battered by white-capped and swelling waves. And beyond it, visible in only the brightest thunderbolts, seems to stand a small town. From what you can see, the buildings appear to be old and patched. The roofs themselves are shingled peaks. It's another small fishing village, it seems, but the cold seems to bite at your skin and set you on edge as you realize that this is probably your only real shelter from this deluge.
Finally a town. We should rest here. As much as I love the water, it doesn't seem safe to be out here with all this lightning.
No, we can hardly see, and that is something I don't feel quite comfortable about.
Well, tavern it is, I guess.
Let's find the nearest tavern.
Give me 1 second.
So I'll start looking for any lantern glow and any swinging signs
Yeah.
that might still be lit at all from this rain.
Okay. So you, it's a decent while actually before you manage to make it to the town itself, but you sort of have to trudge through this thick, heavy mud. Any lanterns that you had for sight have been long since doused, and the severity of the winds as they pick up as you near the town seem to kind of slow you down quite a bit. But eventually you kind of descend. Sound muffled? Sorry. Check this out.
And I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for things that don't seem right.
Yeah, for any weird shadows that might appear sort of in the downpour.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know how that got changed. So you begin making your way into the town, and as you can see, although still rendered miserable and gray by this constant downpour. This town, a kind of swinging sign on the road near the entrance, just kind of battered by the winds, just reads Ashenport. It looks better up close. No, that's the wind. It looks better up close than it did from a distance. You can see that many of the buildings are sturdier than they appear. A few of them even seem to be made of quarried stone rather than wood. Even in the inclement weather, you can actually see that the town itself seems to bustle with a modicum of activity. There's light that seems to gleam through many of the windows, flickering bright and cheerful. Sporadic people trudging their way along the muddy roads, shoulders hunched against the rain, and going about this business or that. You can sort of taste the salty tang of the sea and the lingering odor of what must be hundreds of years of fishing that kind of seem to insinuate themselves around your mouth and nose. Even the torrential rains and winds cannot seem to completely strip the stench from the air.
Let's get inside.
All right. You guys are essentially arriving from the northern end of town, and as you make your way in, there's a large stone hill immediately on your right, and you can kind of just make out in the kind of cracking thunder and lightning. You can see it seems to be topped with a small chapel building, but that's the only thing that stands on top of it. The rest of the town is kind of huddled buildings down in this muddy little beach side, surrounded by dense forest. You can kind of see there's a main roadway winding its way through the town. You can actually see as it passes just a few buildings in front of you. It seems to sort of open up into a bit of a muddy plaza centered with a thick kind of garden of trees, but you can't really see much beyond that. You don't really know the layout of this town.
Any lanterns lit?
Yeah, from what I understood, it seems like the
Any
actually it's a little bit
warning
of hassle
marks?
of bustle.
Any warning marks on buildings? Any?
For what do you mean?
I'm assuming that if I'm a demon hunter, there might be demon marks or warding marks on any of the buildings.
Not that you can see. I mean, it's the buildings are mostly made of stone and kind of thick timber. From the people going around, as far as you can tell, you can see nets, fish like lobster crates, those kind of things. So it's, I mean, you're welcome to take a closer look if you want, but
Meredith would be pushing straight towards that tavern. What did you say? Was it called Ashenport? or something
no,
like
the
that?
town is called
The
Ashenport.
town.
You don't
Oh, never
necessarily
mind.
know
Wow.
where the tavern is.
There are people walking around there, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go up to one of them and be like, "Aye, we're looking for a place to stay the night. Get out of this storm. Would you happen to know anywhere?"
You stop a man. He's an older man, kind of hunched over, wearing like an oil slicked cloak over his head that is kind of wicking the rain not very well away from his face. He seems to be carrying a crate of something, and he kind of stops and looks at you from under the hood. He says, "Oh, hello. Yeah, you'll want oh, sorry, 1 second. Wrong page." He says, "You'll want the smooth sailing inn. You go past the plaza here and down the main road, and it's the biggest building over there. You can't miss it. It'll have two chimneys."
Gramercy, Father.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
2 chimneys.
What a storm, eh? I'll be glad to be
This
out
is
of it.
why I prefer to stay in the town.
Well, on we go then. On we go.
Yeah.
Yes, let's.
All right.
2 chimneys. Biggest building, 2 chimneys. Let's go.
Yeah, you make your way past this sort of this dense tangle of trees in the center of town, and you keep going towards what is presumably the inn. Eventually, as you kind of shuffle along this muddy road, you can make out a building with kind of multiple flickering windows, and you make your way straight towards it. As you approach, you can identify that sort of different styles of architecture seem to suggest that this wasn't really one building, but was at one point two or three, before it seems like they've all kind of been sealed up and turned into one structure. It now easily forms the largest structure on the block. Smoke rises from several chimneys, only to vanish into the falling rain. Firelight gleams through several windows, and the sound of conversation, though definitely inaudible over the sound of the storm, seems to leak from the doorway nearby. A sign above that door, which is portraying a ship at full sail on a waveless sea, is flapping violently in the wind. You're kind of standing outside the large double doors.
Walk right in.
Yeah, Meredith will.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, one more second.
And as I walk inside, as we all walk inside, I guess I'll try and use my water bending to just sort of slick myself and the rest of us.
And
dry.
standing right next to you, Meredith would probably just shake out her coat viciously, getting all the water back onto you.
Yeah, you can
And
get it
I'm
back
gonna-
off.
As she makes a show of that, I want to coming just behind them and take a gander at the room and see who looks okay and who looks like might be trouble and what the temperature of the room is as far as people.
Okay. As you make your way into the tavern, you see that, like, first of all, you're kind of you kind of spray the water out on the walls around you. You guys seem to be standing on a platform just where the door is, and there's sorry, let me just turn this up. There we are. So you can see there are 3 different patterns of wood floor here at 3 slightly different levels that make up this large common room. Beyond this, you see that this is pretty much any other bar. There is a long countertop stands on one side of this vast chamber, and there's a staircase on the other that seems to be leading up to, a second floor, probably where the rooms are. There's just a smattering of tables and chairs scattered throughout this large area. 2 fireplaces on either side seem to radiate a very comforting warmth throughout the room, and you could see several of the staff seem to kind of whirl about with tankards full of ale and plates of smoked fish and other things, serving a decent-sized group of people. You instantly can kind of identify that the crowd, there are a bunch of obvious locals, fishermen, dock workers, this and that. Their garb sort of gives them away, but you notice there are quite a few here that don't quite fit in with the local color. They seem to be standing out just as much as you lot probably would. And they all, there's at least 2 groups of these people that seem to be sort of segregated on either sides of the tavern.
Walk up to the bartender, I think, first, or whoever may be serving drinks, and be like, quite the storm out there. Glad we have found some shelter here. Seems you've got a full place here tonight.
The man who's kind of cleaning the bar, he's got a long kind of handlebar mustache and a very sour look on his face, and he says, "Yeah, it's raining. It happens here. You want some food?"
Oh, aye. Hot bowl of something and maybe a cider if you got one.
Yes, something like that for me too, please.
I'll have a grog.
He kind of looks at you and says, like, shifts his head towards the side, and you see there's a girl who's like in the process of filling a couple tankards, and he kind of growls. He says, "Yeah, Lena, take care of them." And she, like, he's not moving, he's not like leaving, he's just he's just still sitting there kind of cleaning the bar. But the girl says, "Oh, yes, welcome, how can I help you? Would you like a table? Would you food? Do you need lodgings?"
All of that would be nice, yes.
"Oh, okay. Well, right now we have we're serving smoked fish with stewed vegetables and bread. It's 2 silver pieces for a plate. 3 if you'd like a tankard of ale with it. A room will be 5 silver pieces."
Well, that sounds like a dream come true. So, my dear, I think all around, yes?
Aye.
And 2 rooms, meals all around, and a cider for me if you've got one. Thank you so much, and I press some coin into her hand.
She takes it. She says, "Oh, of course. Will you be needing a table or anything? I can possibly find you one. It's a bit busy, but I'm sure we can find something."
Anything cozy and out of this rain will do.
Okay.
And with our thanks.
She'll kind of like hustle, like go back to the kitchen window and shout something in there, and then say, this way. And she'll kind of like, she's walking around. She says, "No, not this one. Here." And like she goes to a table and kind of pulls out a rag and just begins like quickly wiping it off and like wiping some crumbs off it and stuff. And then she says, there you go. Your food will be out in just a little bit. Make yourselves comfortable, and I'll get those keys for you."
Thank you, dear. That is awfully kind of you.
She kind of bows as she sort of steps back, and you hear as she's kind of stepping away, someone like you see her kind of whirl around as someone kind of like tugs on her sleeve and starts like calling out to her to get back into the shuffle and start taking care of customers once again. You see her kind of basically be sucked off into the whirl of activity in this tavern, but you guys are essentially you have a table to yourselves. You have a decent view of most of this tavern and its patrons.
Are we seated near people who look like they're locals or strangers like us?
They're mostly locals in the tavern. The only people who look like they're not locals are... Wow, I can't deal with that. Are 2 groups of people. One over there, like on that side of the tavern, and one on that side of the tavern, and they all appear to be like... I'm trying to think how to describe them. They look like they're armored and dressed in different colors. Guards, some sort of military, maybe. On one side of the tavern, you have people who are dressed in tabards of green that are trimmed with gold. And you can see quite a few soldier-looking types. On the other side, you can see people who are wearing tunics that are black and that are trimmed with red.
Do I recognize this livery from anywhere?
Possibly. They roll me a learning check.
Oh, somebody else should do that with who has learning.
I could do it if you want to. I've 3 in learning.
I'd say go for it.
Hold on. What does that mean again? Learning is plus 1d8.
I see definite livery. Those are definite clothes. That is absolutely clothing.
They are real clothes. That is true.
They're not
You want me
naked.
to try it?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
Much better.
So you don't really know the specifics. It's not your wheelhouse. It's not really your area of expertise. But you're almost certain that you've seen some of the symbols. The people in the green. Their tabards are adorned with kind of I guess almost floral design. Not really floral, more like branches and leaves and stuff. You think that this is the livery of a mostly elven trade company called the Gold Leaf Trading Group or something like that, some such thing. It's you never really engaged with them, that you don't know much about them. Your assumption is if they're here, the other group might be similar. Your best guess is that these the armed people are most likely hired muscle or bodyguards rather than like any type of military.
Yeah, I would pass that information on to the others.
Okay.
Trading companies, eh? Worked with them in the past. Wonder what brings them in for the night. Probably the storm, same as us.
I would assume so.
Perhaps, well, a group like them might have some work for us if we were to ask. We have been a bit dry on adventures lately.
What kind of adventure do you think men like these could give us?
I'm going to
don't
suss
know.
out who
But they
in
definitely
that.
have coin.
I'd like to suss out who in that green and gold livery looks like
They're in charge.
they're in charge, like the merchant in charge, not the muscle in charge, but the merchant in charge.
All right, 1 second. Okay, so you're kind of peering through this group, and it looks like the only person who seems to sort of stand out as not like an obvious soldier. There are a couple people a couple like elves that don't look particularly important. The one woman who looks like she's sort of, people are paying deference to her. She's an elven woman, sort of dark-haired, very graceful features. In fact, she would be quite an attractive, an attractive elf, if it weren't for the fact that her left eye was like a milky white color, and there's a little bit of scarring, like right under that, right on her cheek over there. She seems to be kind of very casually sitting back in her chair like this, kind of, just leaning, listening to her people talk. You can't really get a sense of what they're talking about, but she seems to be the one that is calling the shots, or at least people are deferring to her.
Do you want to go talk to her? I've been noticing that you're looking at her.
I do. I'm going to approach her and say, in Elven, good evening.
All right.
Good evening.
You walk across the room. You kind of have to sort of dodge your way
Excuse
or
me, pardon
twist,
me, excuse me.
twist your way through some of the
Come through.
rowdy patrons. But as you get to the group, one of the soldiers kind of spots you, and you see a couple of them turn and kind of, they put their hands out like in a fairly intimidating gesture to sort of stop you. One of them's looking down at you. He says,
"Community's acclaim spreads."
"You have business here?"
Oh, pray pardon. I mean no disrespect. I just wanted to say hello. It's a beast of a storm out there, you think, and just being friendly. I was going to ask of the news of trade. Just being friendly is all.
The man looks like he's gonna say something, but you hear a voice from behind him that says, "Whatever you came here for, it's not that. What do you want? We are keeping to ours. You do not seem to be keeping with yours. What do you need?"
Well, truth be told, work. We're looking for work. If the price is right, and if the company's good.
The men kind of like look at each other, and they kind of part their ways, not letting you through really, but just so you can see her. And the woman kind of sits up and kind of leans one arm on the table. She says, "If you're in town now, means you're here for one thing."
And what might that one thing be?
At this point, I would look at LaSalle. I guess we're too far away to overhear what they're talking about, but so shooting him a look, saying that something might be going on there.
I think I'd actually like to, while they're doing this, go and talk to the people in the black and red clothes.
Okay. So she says,
Play both fields.
yeah, she says, "I'm not sure if you're playing dumb or not playing."
Oh, I'm often dumb, but also foolish. Sometimes savvy, but I honestly don't know what that one thing might be. We've come in from the rain, and I honestly was being friendly in order to say hello and see what the news is. See what could be had in a town such as this.
Actually, sorry, I just remembered that I have telepathy, and I'm actually going to ask Callista, "Is everything all right, dear?"
Can I answer her?
Yeah.
Does it go two-way?
I'm sure
I'm just gonna be like,
And then I get up from the table and slowly walk over, and as I'm pushing my way through, I'm making sure that I'm sort of brushing one side of my coat sort of back casually to reveal the revolver that hangs there and the dagger that's not too far away.
All right. The woman kind of like looks you up and down. She says, "Well, you're certainly not traders. Not much. You don't look like you come here with any financial backing."
no, but we do have a particular set of skills.
I don't know why that matters. This is a fishing village. The only reason anyone pays attention to this place is for the gold.
The gold where?
We're here because there's a trade fair starting tomorrow. This town is particularly well known for the treasures that it pulls up from the sea. We intend to secure exclusive contracts to those. We care not about their fish, their food, or their ale, or whatever else they have to barter, but we will get that contract, and We don't intend on anyone standing between us.
Oh, well, contract away, I say, but if any of those artifacts that you pull up gives you any trouble, you might want to find us. You might want to get them checked. You never know if you've sold goods with guests onto others, then you might be liable. So that's all. How's the cider here? Is it lovely?
She kind of like looks at her men and she says, "I don't know. I don't drink."
Oh, well,
And
first then.
and in her head, I go, "Oh, she's an elf. That would explain it. How boring."
All right. While
I
this
just
is happening,
rub my ear.
and while what's it called? While Meredith is kind of joining you over at that table, LaSalle, what exactly, like, how exactly are you making your way over to this other group?
I'm going to just sort of stride over there, kind of like pushing people out of the way, rather confidently, to address this group. As I approach, I say, "Aye, what brings you lot into town, Lorraine?"
Say, there's a couple of men kind of like these ones aren't like standing sort of in a circle like the others were. These ones are all kind of like leaning over their table, drinking and laughing. And one of them kind of turns to you. He says, I don't know if you've noticed, this ain't really a locals party. All the fishermen, the boat hands are over there.
I know you're not locals. Neither am I. I've traveled quite a bit to be here. And I know that you lot are quite the trading company. I'd like to hear a bit more about why you're here.
The man, like a man at the back, kind of like you hear him sort of chuckle to himself, and he says, "Well, what could we possibly need to share with you? If you're not local, then that means you're a competitor."
Not necessarily. There are always deals in which you foreigners could work together.
The man kind of, you see the man is sort of older, black hair with kind of streaks of gray around the side, little kind of, little goatee at the bottom of his chin, and sort of a very nice black, felt or silk doublet, and he just kind of like leans forward. He says, "Look, if you intend to buy anything at the fair tomorrow, just understand that we won't let them buy any of what's rightfully ours. And I won't brook any interference from you either. Now,
Word about
if you'd
the
like
community's
to
acclaim spreads.
endear yourself, then I can think of ways that we can do that. But we're here for profit, not friends."
Rightfully yours, you say. What makes it that? Do you have some claim on the treasures of this town more than they?
By right, because our contract comes from the free city. We come with authority, not elvish contract. Their word means nothing.
Can I roll something to see if I know what he means by the free city?
Yeah, I mean, you know it's like there's basically the largest kind of metropolis. It's a few days, probably about a week away of travel to the east of here. You know, it's mostly obviously these are, you get the sense that this is sort of some sort of trading company delegation, and they've most likely been sent out here to buy something specific.
Well, there are many things at this auction. What is it that you're after specifically? I won't compete if you agree not to take my plot either.
I'm sure whatever you have interest in is none of mine. We are here for the treasures of the sea and claim to them. We wish to broker all the deals between this town and the lands outside. There's no other reason to be in this mud hole.
The people seem good. Although, you seem more like the city lot, I can tell. Alas, well... Sorry, what was it that he said specifically he wanted? Was it just to, like, make a contract for all of the things that they get from here, pretty much, or...?
Basically.
Okay, he wants everything.
Well, like exclusive trading rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you intend to be the only ones making deals with this little town, then we certainly do have something to talk about. I can aid you in that if you would be willing to give me a part of what you acquire from time to time.
I'm not sure what aid you can provide, but right now my concern is the Gold Leaf Company. I'd like them out of town if possible.
Well, that's certainly a way I can aid you then, isn't it?
Well, then see it done, and we will pay you handsomely.
Coin is interesting, but in a town like this, with an auction like that, I think I'd rather a bit of whatever you might be buying. Not all, for sure, but
A gleaming
certainly
endowment.
the treasures of this town be more interesting than coin alone.
He nods. He says, I will not be unwilling to part with a small gift. It is, after all, they always seem to find more.
Very well, then. Seems we have ourselves a deal. I didn't catch your name, by the way.
He kind of smiles and kind of leans over the table and places his hand out. He says, Matthias Creel, Servants Creel and Blackwell.
LaSalle, it's a pleasure.
All right. He'll kind of, with a little bit of a grin, kind of shake your hand.
Do the elves in any way notice what was going on?
You guys seem to be distracting them. That you get the sense that these guys are probably keeping an eye on each other no matter what.
Yeah. And while this is happening, I'm going to go back to go back and relay the info to Meredith.
She's like right behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
you're-
Okay.
I guess at some
Yeah.
point
She
we
knows.
just come all back to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to catch Raina's eye.
Oh, the Relina, the bar, the
Relina.
yeah, the tavern girl. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. I was just
Relina's
wondering-
eye.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it right. I'm sorry. And catch Relina's eye. Are you back, LaSalle? Are you back at the table?
Yeah, I'll be back at the table. Relay what I've been told.
So, Relina, seems you've got some factions for tomorrow's shindig, eh?
She says, "Oh, yeah, we have some outsiders to town that I think are. There's a trade festival tomorrow, a trade fair, and they seem to have come in for that. I really can't speak to any of that. But I mean, the money is always good. It helps the town. They pull a lot of those things from the water. Those treasures, sunken ships. I think I don't know. But it helps us stay afloat. Fishing has not been great recently.
Sure it does. So, are either of these factions, is the tavern or the town beholden to any of these factions? Are they part of a
No, I think
lordship or?
no. I think they wanted to make a deal with the mayor or something. Again, it's all kind of over my head.
No worries, dear. No worries. Thank you.
Have there ever been any sort of altercations between these two factions here? Anything that perhaps went beyond evil glares or the sort?
No, this is the first time they've been in town. We hold this trade fair every year, but this is the first time I've seen them.
Thank
Oh.
you.
And the cider's lovely, by the way. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. She kind of leaves a few keys on the table. She says, "Those are your rooms. Whenever you want to retire, they're all made up, ready
A
to go."
new follower.
Poor thing, she's probably getting kicked around every day.
All right. New.
So,
New to
what are we
town.
going to do? Do we actually intend to watch this trade? LaSalle, do you intend to help the man? What did you say his name was again, LaSalle? It was Matthias, yes.
Matthias, yes. He seemed, well, deceptive but honest when it comes to coin. I'm certainly not opposed to a bit of mercenary work.
So, what exactly would we have to do in this?
I suppose, keep those leaves away from the auction tomorrow. By whatever means necessary.
But Askren, how many of that leaf elvish company are there in the tavern right now?
There were, as far as you can see, there was the elven woman Terza, and there were about 6 guards and maybe 2 other merchant types with them. The other guys had the Surins, Creel, and Blackwell seem to have the man Matthias Creel and about 8 guards.
Well, what do you think, Callista? I mean, I do have the means to keep quite a few of them distracted at once, but I'm just wondering if in the end this might turn out bad for us. But I'm not unwilling to give it a try.
Well, coin's coin, and my skills were fair on either side. It may be horrible to hope that some of that loot they pull up will need my services, but I'm not worried. I don't give a fig really about the tiff between them. I think it might even work in a favor, really. But coin is coin for me. So as long as I have a bit of work, then.
Well, if I'm honest, a little bit of psychological welfare, I haven't tried that in quite a while.
Well,
So she seems to warm up to the idea.
cheers to that. I believe you can add that to the party.
All right. It is the night is kind of wearing on. You guys are enjoying your meal, but eventually, I'm assuming you guys will probably want to take a rest for the night and make a move tomorrow morning when the festival starts up.
Sure.
Okay.
So, as you guys eventually, I mean, you do kind of you have some time to kind of discuss your plans and get ready, but eventually sleep will take you, and you all make your way up to the room. You were sort of given 3 rooms side by side. Pretty much like there's 2 next to each other and there's one right across the hall. So they all kind of, they all face each other. Unless you wanted to opt for like a group room.
I think
I'd ask for 2.
yeah.
At least 2. At least one for the girls and one for the gents.
One
But
for the girls and the other one for the boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say you all got your own room then. So you guys are making yourselves ready for the night. Is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep? Is there anything you want to prepare? Is there anything you want to just set yourself to?
I'd like to ward the room a little bit and just see if I can barrier the room, and just in case.
Okay, in what way? Like with salt? Like what kind of ward?
I don't. My best skill is demonic, but can I? I don't think anyone is aiming to pickpocket a room tonight, since all the deal is going to happen tomorrow. I don't think anyone's got their mind on looting or breaking in before all the goods are in hand. So I think that it's just going to be my absolutely, without even thinking about it, without
Just
even
habit.
It's just habit that I would do at any new place I would lay my head. It would be just one little demonic warding.
Okay. You kind of, we'll say you kind of have a habit of drawing a chalk circle, sort of like around or a large circle around your bed with some symbols on it.
And then 10 kilos salt in front of the door.
Yeah, just a line of salt.
Yeah, Relena didn't realize that I'd stolen the salt cellar from the table.
Right in front of the door jam. Yeah. So you make your wards. It's kind of like a bedtime ritual for you.
Yeah, I think Meredith, what she does is to hopefully guide herself into lucid dreaming or something like that, that she's doing some kind of meditation before going to sleep and something like that. It's weird stuff.
All right.
LaSalle is going to try and he's going to use the boon of summon creature to get a seabird of some kind, like a seagull, to perch outside the company's window, the Golden Leaf window, and basically alert him if they do anything suspicious or if they try and leave before we wake up.
Okay. So a bird that's just kind of perched nearby.
Yeah.
You got it.
Ah!
Wake me up before they go.
All right. Give me one
Thought you were
sec.
gonna start a different wake up song. Wake me up, wake me up inside.
Green leaves are wankers. Ah, God!
All right. All right. So, as you all settle down for the night, let me open this. This is what I want. You all eventually complete your rituals and you lay down to rest. The wind and the rain still kind of pounding at the windows and the roof outside. It's loud. There is, the distant thunder. You can hear the rattling of signs, splashing of waves in the distance, and the cracking of thunder, as the storm does not seem to show any signs of abating. As you all drift off into sleep, slowly and gradually.
Does the storm seem natural?
It's a storm. It's a heavy storm.
Okay. Just check.
Yeah, that's fine. As you're laying your head down to rest, slowly and gradually a new sound seems to penetrate over the pounding of the rain and the howling of the winds. Barely audible at first, it resolves itself into almost an alien, high-pitched, kind of keening wail. It kind of resounds through your head, twisting whatever dreams you might be having into feeling of loss, of lament, and of sadness. Some of you may dream of the lament of a mother who has lost her children, or a sailor stranded far from home, but the sound seems to almost echo over the waves and grow louder and louder in your heads until the storm has sort of receded into the background. It seems to fill your ears and echo through your skull, kind of insinuating itself throughout your mind and into into the very core of your soul, until you can really think and dream of nothing else. It's not a beautiful or comforting sound in any way. It's horrible, and yet you find yourselves overcome with a strange and irresistible urge. I need all of you to roll me will checks.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, and because and Carrick has told me that because he donated $15 before, you can all have inspiration.
Do I add that? Can I add that afterwards, or how does it work?
You base inspiration you can use to roll a second d20 and take the higher of the two.
Yeah, I'll roll on one.
Okay.
Let's see.
One difference. That's
Oh
funny.
yeah, that's better. Hold on. So what was it? The
It's
18. So I have a 21 in total.
Okay.
15 total for me.
So 18.
I have 21.
21?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Callisto, what'd you get?
15 total.
15. And LaSalle?
11.
All right. Okay. So So you, I need everyone, well, everyone who is, basically all of you are going to be, awoken by this. However, Callista and LaSalle, you are going to be, well, we'll get to there in a second. Meredith, when this thing kind of, when you find yourself like bolting upright in your bed, like this sound just pounding through your ears, what are you gonna do?
She's first sitting there trying sort of to catch her breath, and she waits until her heart stops pounding, and then she, without even looking to her side from her nightstand, she grabs a little notebook, which is her dream journal, and she opens it, and she begins to write frantically into it, like everything that she remembers, all the feelings from the dream, and I don't know, did they see anything, or was it just the sound, just like you described them?
Did you may have seen some kind of, your dreams may have been affected, but it's more like you definitely feel as you wake up, like you definitely feel like you are on the verge of just sort of following this noise, but you've somehow managed to resist it, but you can still sort of make it out clearly, like it hasn't stopped. It is
okay.
When you wake up, it's not just in your sleep, like it is
okay.
Loud.
Okay, then she would be really distracted while she's writing. She's trying to write down everything she can remember as fast as possible, but looking around and sort of trying to get that sound out of her head.
As you're doing that, you hear kind of creaking and heavy footsteps outside your door. They seem to stomp around a little bit before...
I grab my revolver from under my pillow.
You hear them get
Callista,
quieter as they move down the hallway.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
Callista, no, you're not there.
Oh.
No, it's just
we
you.
have wrong rooms!
It's just you.
Oh!
I thought we were sharing a room too.
So, yeah.
Nope. It's just you. You hear the steps outside your door getting quieter as they seem to head down the hallway. Not running, just very, very evenly paced.
Okay, I would have sort of carefully tiptoed over to the door, sort of releasing the. Does a revolver have a safety? That's a stupid question. I don't know.
Revolvers have a cocking hammer. They do have modern ones do have a safety.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then I wait a moment.
Are you gonna look out the door, or are you just waiting by it?
Yes.
Okay.
I wait. I first wait and then I open it until at the point where I can barely hear the steps anymore.
As you open the door and peer out, you see the door directly across from you, which was Callista's, is hanging open.
Can I see inside, or is it still?
It's still dark,
locking?
but you can just barely make out through the kind of crack of lightning and through the window into the room itself. The bed appears to be empty. Okay.
I step into the room and look around.
As you step into the hallway to get into the room, you notice that the other door, LaSalle's door, is also open.
Okay, I first peek into Callista's room, and she's really not there. Like I look.
Not that you can see.
The rooms. Then I would go into.
You hear more kind of thumping around. This seems to be below you now.
Okay, I quickly look into LaSalle's room.
Same thing. Bed is unmade.
Okay.
No one's in the bed.
Okay, and then I would actually walk downstairs, and I would sort of in my head ready myself to use some magic if needed.
As you
get the feeling that the revolver might not be enough.
As you make your way to the stairs, you kind of walk down to the landing where it curves down to the floor below. And as you are kind of crouching behind the banister looking out over the common room, you see that the first thing you notice is there are quite a few people, probably about 10 of them in total. Among them, you see the sort of, night clothes of both Callista and LaSalle, and they all seem to be marching across the tavern floor towards the exit.
Okay, I walk downstairs, and depending on who's closer to me.
What is going on here? What are you doing? Where are you headed?
I'm sort of trying to, placing a hand on the shoulder again of whoever is closer to me.
There's no response.
They just, so when I tighten my grip, are they trying to struggle free?
They're walking. Like, if you attempt to stop them, they're just gonna kind of keep trying to walk.
Okay, I put my revolver aside and I step in front of Callista and say, "I'm so sorry, dear. I hope you can forgive me," and I slap her across the face.
Okay, roll me a might check.
Oh, might. Ugh,
Ring
might
my
is not
bell.
good. I have no modifier for might, so it's just a
Alright.
straight
Well,
up.
you do have
Good
you
in
also
this
have
case.
another inspiration. Thank you to Tunar. Thank you, my friend, who has given
Oh,
Tunar
cool.
inspiration to everyone.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna roll. So I'm gonna roll 2d20s and then take the whole one. So 17.
17. Okay. You crack her right across the face with like an open palm. Callista, roll me another will check, please, to see if you snap out of it.
My will is great. Did I do that right? Oh my Lanta!
What do we get? A 6 and a
Did I do that right? Wait, did I separate it and do it right? Did I roll it right?
That's a
I guess
Yeah,
I
you
did.
rolled it right.
Yeah.
It just
you
really
have-
bad.
You have an inspiration if you want to roll another d20.
Yeah, you can roll another d20 if you want.
Do you want to wake up or not?
Thank you.
Do we really want to wake up?
Why? Yes, I think I do. And no,
No,
that did
no,
not happen.
she's good.
I'm-
As you smack her, she kind of stumbles for a second, but just head down, just kind of continues walking. You hear the door has been open, and at least 2 or 3 people have begun kind of making their way out into the pouring rain, out into the street. Your friends are not far behind them.
Okay, so hold on. Sorry, did you say she snaps out of it?
No. You hit her. You hit her pretty solidly, but it wasn't. She was not able
Big
to kind of
bright
rouse.
red handprint
Okay.
still on me.
Okay, hold on. Then I would like to invoke the incapacitated boon.
Okay.
And I try it on LaSalle.
Boon or Bane?
Bane. Sorry,
Okay.
Bane.
How do you want to incapacitate him?
Let me quickly double check what options I have. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. So paralyzing paralysis.
So basically,
Actually, I have several options here. I could go with fainting.
it's up to you. Tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, basically have him fall unconscious, which hopefully breaks whatever's going on.
Pretty
Great, and we're
unconscious
all
already,
still
but-
in our nightshirts. It's effing cold out here.
So which one are you trying to do? Incapacitated?
Yeah, basically trying to make him faint.
Okay. How are you gonna do that?
Using my mind magic, sort of trying to interfere with my mind powers.
Okay, so you want
to
to try and like use a psychic kind of burst to either to take him out. Which ability is your psychic on? Is that influence?
Yeah.
Okay, so then go ahead and roll me an influence versus his resolve.
Okay, hold on. So
Do it good. Do it good.
it's 120 plus 2d10 because I said 1. I think I should just type it. I'm copy pasting right now, but that seems to take even longer. Oh fuck me.
You kind of like reach out to his mind, and as you send this kind of psychic wave out, you feel almost like something else has kind of enthralled him. There is already some kind of some powerful resin magic that like this loud. It's almost as if this loud kind of thrumming sound that is filling your ears, which you have managed to resist, is just like a constant effect on him. Two more of these. Well, actually, no. At this point, LaSalle, along with one other person, has just exited the front door and are now kind of walking down the street. Callista is very shortly behind. The three that you kind of can see out of the door. Hold on, I'll turn it down. You can kind of see out the door the rain is pouring. These people that are now walking down the kind of mud-slick street are just marching sort of single file out of the tavern and just down the street.
Okay, there's one more thing I want to try before I just try to stealthily follow them.
Okay.
I'm trying to charm Callista.
Okay, that is going to be tough because she is already charmed, but I will let you try and counter it.
So I'm gonna roll another influence, right?
Yes. Versus her resolve, I believe.
Yeah.
Nice.
My resolve is 14.
Okay. So why don't you tell us how you kind of blast her free from this mental entrapment?
Actually, I use sort of sentences that you would use during hypnosis, sort of,
Callista, focus on my voice. You hear nothing but my voice. You know that voice very well. Block out all the other sounds around you.
and so on and so forth, to just sort of lure her out of that entrapment.
So sleepy.
Just wake up.
Okay.
I count to 3, and when I count to 3, you will wake up. 1, 2, 3.
What?
It's all right. It's all right. Calm down. Calm down. I don't know what exactly is going on, but
And I
Oh, it's cold.
and I point and I point towards the others.
Oh,
somebody is exerting their power over all these people.
where's LaSalle?
He's over there.
I'm gonna splash to LaSalle and be like,
Let me double check. I think since I've already tried, what did I try on LaSalle again? Incapacitate. Is that something? Because there's some stuff that when I try to use something on them, I can't use it again for 24 hours.
Yeah, you tried to...
But just from
tried to-
exactly this vein, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you tried to mind blast him, so he's like, you know, you're probably not getting through that. You watch as LaSalle is marching just sort of purposefully down this street. You know, there are others around him, other men. You actually notice among them is there's a kind of portly man who you haven't met before, and you notice kind of the kind of wet gray streaks of Matthias Creel's hair. He also seems to be among this group as they just continue to walk. They're about halfway down the street, and as you kind of look out of the tavern, the town seems to be on a hill that slopes downwards. You can see this street is almost a direct, straight shot down to the shore.
I'm shaking. I'm freezing it. Freezing! I want to try to slap LaSalle out of it and shake him a little bit. And, oi! Wake up! Wake up! And use a little bit of my persuasion on him.
You want to hit him? You want to hit him?
I want to
with
slap
persuasion?
him across the face and then
slap him persuasively.
Gentle persuasion.
a little. I want to give him a little. Thanks, I needed that. That's what I want to do.
You're probably I mean, you can try shaking him, but it's like just kind of shaking him doesn't seem to do much. You actually seem to need to give him some sort of shock to his system to really, to really give him a chance.
I've already tried that. My apologies. I tried to slap. No, I didn't try. I did slap you. It did not work. But I feel I already tried to get through to him. Whatever is using this force, it is quite powerful. The question is, what are we going to do now? Are we following? And if we do, should we stay behind? In some distance.
Okay, all right. Let's try this first. And I'm gonna put my heel behind his knee. Put my heel in front of his shin and knock him over. And then I'm gonna grab his arm and just bite into his forearm.
Okay, go ahead and roll me
Aggressive.
Go ahead and roll me a might check.
Do I have any might? I do have might. Oh, it's only a D6. Okay. I have rolling the Wheatons.
LaSalle, I will let you roll a will check to see if that is enough.
21.
All right, you as you kind of bite into his arm, LaSalle, it's kind of like a sharp jolt of pain that kind of shoots up to your mind, and almost like white hot. It kind of your instant reaction is like to kind of pull away, and as you do, you kind of realize your senses seem to quickly return to you. You realize you are now sitting in the mud in the pouring rain outside.
Wake up, LaSalle! Wake up! Wake up!
But I'm up! What the hell did you do to me, woman?
No, quiet.
Be quiet.
Quiet. Now we've got you up. There's
What's
something
going on?
extremely disturbing going on here. I don't know.
Somebody's trying to kidnap all the people that stayed at the inn.
Well, it's more of a charm thing, I think.
Well, yes.
When we got our minds wrapped around it, I think is all the treasure that they pull up every trade day just loot from the traders that stay the night?
Oh, I mean,
Are these
that is quite an assumption. I don't know.
Are they a payment for what they'll pull up?
If this were truly
Let's
a
follow
trap,
them.
if this were truly a trap for any travelers to come through and steal the treasure, I doubt they'd be doing it to the people who are trying to buy it.
Do any of these people that are entranced and walking to the ocean, are they locals or are they only?
He's not.
I guess we have to wait for
him to
that
come back.
answer.
But he.
Yeah, it sounded as if everybody was, but we should
If it's
definitely double
townspeople
check.
too, this might be the annual cull. I don't.
The culling? No. I'm.
Is this the gift for? It's just the price to pay
It's a
for
gift
gift
for
from sea?
Dagon.
I see Matthias from there, and I'm like,
Right?
if they have Matthias, perhaps this is
He's there.
the work of the Golden Leaves.
Do we see any gold leaves there also entranced?
That's also a good question.
Because it sounded like it was everyone. And
Yeah, to me it sounded like that too.
that's a very weird.
So right now I'm just wondering if
And
somebody's
it's never
trying to
anyone
get
that's
to the
come.
loot.
It's never anyone that they'd seen. Relena said it was never anyone that she had seen come back before. These are all new people to the sea.
I
So we need to
suppose.
ask Askren and his lovely familiar.
He's here.
What's
We
up?
need to ask Askren if all of the people that seem entranced in going down to the sea are they only newcomers to the town, or do we see locals like Relena too?
Do you want to sort of run over to them to check?
Yes.
All right.
We seem to be in the middle of them.
What's up?
Stealthily and not bumping into anyone.
Actually, what Meredith is doing at that point, I have the boon invisibility, so I can use a mind trick, but I fear I can only use that on myself. I don't think I can.
Yeah. You can try it if
Perception check.
I'll let you roll a perception. Yeah, if you want to check.
Because I would help them, but I will. Okay, then I will stay in contact with the other two telepathically to let them know where I am, and give them a heads up before vanishing. And then I'm going to check on the people as well. Okay, perception.
D10. For me.
Do I have perception? Oh, good.
16.
What'd you get? Hold on, I gotta switch over here. Nope, not that. Okay.
Hey.
As you
Yahtzee.
I have a that 20.
Explode that.
Explode
What is
that.
it? So do I roll the 20 again?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, and wait. Do I get advantage?
No, just the one advantage.
All right.
You've used it twice.
Just checking.
So 38.
Damn.
I see everything.
All right. Yeah, you almost.
And she knows kung fu.
You almost instantly, Meredith. You almost instantly notice that on a few of the men here, on their shoulder is a tattoo of a golden leaf.
Okay.
So we got both.
The other group seems to be men, some of whose faces you recognize, some of whom you don't, but none of them look to be like older. None of them look to be fishermen or anything like that. They all seem to be sort of younger, solidly built men.
Wait, so the group that had the golden leaves were those are the people leading them, not the hypnotized people, right?
No,
Or were those also
there's no one.
hypnotized?
No one's leading anyone. They're
Okay.
all walking in the same direction.
All
Is
entranced.
the female
Everyone's-
elf? She's not among them.
Not that you see.
Interesting.
And so, I mean, you said it was an elven company, or at least run by elves. But are those that are charmed? Are they
the
all?
soldiers appeared to be humans.
Okay.
Ooh, is this elven magic?
Oh yeah, because elves can't be charmed, from what I know.
Oh,
Well,
that's right, and they can't be slept.
I assume that it's the same.
Maybe she's dead.
Or something cheery like that.
I'm going to run up to Matthias actually, and I'm going to try and slap him awake.
Okay. We'll say
He takes a bite too.
he
Takes
now
a bite too.
as you guys are doing this, they're marching. All right, it was a mistake to let you in here. They're
Mine is smoking somewhere.
they're marching down the. She literally will only be on this table, and nowhere else.
That is why I have the standing desk. She has no place on there anywhere.
As you guys notice, the group is kind of marching down this street. They have put the ones at the head have put some distance on you guys. The others seem to be skirting their way around you. I just can't control this. And so they're probably gonna reach the water's edge in. You were a mistake. They're probably gonna reach the water's edge very, very shortly. So you can try and get down to them, but if you wish to stop them, you're probably not gonna be able to stop all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. I would like to try throwing a cat at them now.
Yeah, summon cat.
Summon
Also-
cat, a huge cat. Now I would like to use mass hallucination.
Okay.
Perhaps I would like to see if I can to make them sort of stop them from going into the water or closer to the water, I think I can make it look at it as if there is no water. Maybe I can make it look yeah, exactly, a wall, like there is a wall that probably can stretch, endlessly in either direction, but basically some kind of hallucinatory diversion that keeps them from walking straight into the water, because right now I'm assuming that is what they're trying to do.
Okay, let me check this out. That's a boon, correct?
Bane.
Where do I have it?
Oh, Bane. I'm sorry.
What is it? Oh, it's a feat actually. Sorry, that is why I don't even have it here open.
Okay.
It's a
Hold on.
feat that's called mass hallucination, and I have it at because I have a 7 for influence, so I could do a lot of shit. Like it said something like I could make the terrain look
I
different.
don't see that on this page. What is it under?
It's feat and then mass hallucination. I got it from the Open Legend.
Oh, it may not be on here then. Hold on.
Let me look it up real quick.
What's the power level of it?
It comes in, what's it called? Increments. It comes in, I think, a 3, 5, 7.
Okay, so which power level do you want to cast it at?
I'm gonna... Oh, okay, so the influence, it tells me how many people I can affect. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have influence 7, so I can target, or I can affect 5, or try to target 5 people.
Yeah, I still can't find it.
Oh no, hold on. Yeah, it's. Hold on, I'm gonna shoot you the link. It's just I'm just on normal. Just a normal website. And then look for mass.
Yeah, I just searched for the word mass and nothing came up. That's why I was confused.
That's weird. Then look for hallucination. I mean, I found it under mass.
Oh, hallucination mass. That's why.
Yeah.
I was looking for the other way around. Okay, so you invoke this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So what level are you casting it at?
I have influence 7, so I can.
You can do up to 5 targets. Okay.
Oh, so is this basically, this is an extension of the Phantasm Bane, right? Okay. Not, sorry, of the hallucination, no.
Oh, yeah. So
I'm confused.
you have to cast the this is a bonus to the Phantasm Bane.
Okay, I have the Phantasm
Okay,
Bane. Sorry,
then
I'm gonna jump over
Go
to
ahead
that.
and check the power level on that. Which I'm gonna check too.
Okay, this has, okay, I have it at 7.
Phantasm you can invoke at 1 to
20 by 20 by 20 area Phantasm. That's not a lot.
Well,
Word of our
what power level?
community's acclaim
No,
spreads.
so the power levels are it's 1 to 9. You choose what power level you want to cast it at, because that sets the DC that you have to roll to actually cast it.
Oh.
Yes. So for
I
example,
think in order to do a mass hallucination, you need to do it at 7. So
yeah, I think
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
influence 7, hallucinations feat. No, it says when you invoke the hallucination form of Phantasm, you may target additional creatures. I don't know if Phantasm is a...
Phantasm is a Bane.
No, okay. We'll say it's, you gotta... I'll say level 6, because that says affects all senses, and you want to try and do that, right? You want to... Or do you want to do it sight, or smell, sound, or touch?
Can I do 2? Sense and touch? If that doesn't work, just sense, because
Word of our
basically I want them to
community's
think
acclaim spreads.
that there's suddenly a wall in front of them where the edge to the water would be, or maybe a little bit before that.
So that would
they
be
hopefully get...
sight, which would be a minimum power level 3.
Okay. Can we attach to that?
You attach what?
a touch that if if anybody, I don't know how strong the charm is, so that they could, even when they see the wall, that even if some of them continue to walk forwards, that
It feels like it's there.
it feels like it's there.
That would be a power level 6.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, let's do that. Otherwise, it will all drown.
Okay. So the DC is 10 plus 2 times the power level.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
So it's a 20. You need to get a 22 in order for that to work.
Yeah.
So roll your influence. Good luck.
I can do that.
All right. Can she?
Word of our
Holy
community's
shit, we're all-
acclaim spreads.
So many auto
I have
going
one
off.
exploding die.
Yeah, you gotta. The
one
D20 is
10,
not
10.
great, but the 10 is the 10 is. So you roll the 10 again.
Okay. Another 10. I can do that. I can totally do that.
A 6. That is a 22.
22.
Nice.
All right. So what's it called? So you conjure this wall, and for the mass because of your mass hallucination, you are able to target pretty much all of these people and convince them that there is a solid wall. Now you cannot make it stretch to infinity. It is a finite thing, but you make them think, and so as soon as they kind of see it, you kind of watch as they're walking. They seem to slow down a little bit, sort of as they arrive at it, and you see them just, without really breaking their gait too much, just turn to the sides and just begin kind of walking the length of the wall. It looks like they're trying to find a way around it, which means you might have bought yourself some time to possibly grab one or two of them, if you'd like.
Yeah. I look at the others and I say, "What should we do? I could try to charm one. That it worked on Callista, but there are more of them. How many are there in total, approximately?"
There were 5.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try and get to
Matthias at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I try casting like regeneration on Matthias
To do what?
to restore his mind?
That's a different.
Yeah, no, not really.
Heal?
He's not really injured.
I can try
I'll
to
try to
counter
bite
charm
again.
him.
I
Or
can-
do that.
I can bite him again.
or bite.
Then I will.
I'm
the
gonna
Meredith-
slap him.
Yeah.
It's gonna do it.
I mean, we
I'm
could
gonna
focus on
square
3.
punch.
We could focus on 3 persons.
Okay.
You two could slap and bite too, and I can try to counter charm someone
Yeah.
else in 3rd person.
Go for the strong ones.
Yeah. Can I perceive? Can I roll any kind of a perception check to see if I can sense any of these people who are trying to break out of this thing? Like, who would be a good target that's going to break out easily for me?
No, they all seem to be enthralled.
Okay.
I rolled a 23 to wake up Matthias.
So I'm randomly picking someone trying to
Okay.
work the counter charm on them.
I'm going to randomly pick a gold leaf as well, and
We'll say that because of your guys your efforts, each of you are able to kind of rouse at least one of them. So in the process, you said you were randomly picking one. You got
Yeah.
Matthias and the what's it called? Callista. You kind of grabbed the nearest person that you grabbed was like this kind of portly looking dude who was just kind of like wandering through the mud. But you managed to kind of like just bat him in the back of the head, and easily he kind of fell to his knees, and with some effort, you guys can, like, these guys look out of it. They look pretty woozy. You could potentially, do you want to like leave him out in the rain, or do you want to sort of drag them back into the inn and let the other two
I'd like
go?
them to help us. I'd like them to start helping us. Like, hey, so sorry. Needed to wake you up. Hello, rise and shine. Hello, hi, hello. Need your help. Bunch of your buddies not doing so good. A bit of a charm, something enthrall, something nasty. So, Can you help me slap a few more everybody's awake?
The kind of chubby man that you're talking to, he looks up. He says,
Using my persuasion.
"Who are you? Who are you?" And as your guys are looking around, it looks like the last two that you kind of weren't keeping an eye on have vanished. They seem to have found a way around their illusionary wall or some.
I would walk to the end of that wall in
where you're casting
the direction.
You just
No, I'm not casting. I'm just walking to the end. Actually, I guess I'm dropping it at that point since they're gone anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, like we can see through whatever the wall
Yeah,
is.
no,
so
it's-
if
no.
it's
Yeah,
only
anyway.
to see.
True.
Yeah, but you can see out in the water. You can just make out sort of the dark shape as it looks like a head just slowly kind of sinks below the waves.
Can I roll any kind of a perception?
For what?
To see if I can tell where this magic is coming from. Is it coming from the inn or is it coming from the water?
It's just a loud blaring sound that has just come like echoing out over the town. You're not really sure where. It's kind of pretty loud in your ears. But you guys are still standing out in the rain, and you have 3 guys with you. The other 2 seem to have vanished in the water. Do you want to do you want to get back into shelter at this point?
Matthias.
I want to try one more time, and I want to try to cast barrier on the nearest guy next to me. I want to try to cast barrier and see if I can barrier him from the noise.
I mean, the other ones are in the water. You've got 3 guys. 2 of them seem to have gone into the water, so there's no one left. There's just you.
Oh. Well, then I'm gonna take whoever I just woke up's hand. And go, hello. Good morning, darling. Good morning,
you were already talking to him.
Back to the inn. What a night, eh? What a time. Let's go back to the inn. I'm freezing. Can you help? Let's go back to the inn.
Yeah, Meredith is stuffing her revolver somewhere into her bra and then grabbing the arm of somebody else and helping them back to the in her own bra.
Let's have breakfast. Hey, let's have breakfast. What do you think? Kippers, breakfast, morning cider. What do you want? In the inn. In we go.
As you kind of eventually make your way into the inn, let me just check something here. Eventually, as you guys make your way into the inn, you don't really notice it until you're already inside, but the sound itself seems to be slowly sort of receding into the background. As you're kind of rushing through the rain, the pouring rain, eventually you kind of close the doors of the inn, and it becomes just you, sort of sitting in this chamber, this large empty tavern room with the wet and kind of coughing and moaning bodies of the 3 people that you have that you have rescued. And you also notice very quickly you are joined by the rest of the other groups. The groups, they seem to be kind of rushing downstairs to join you guys. You almost instantly are sort of privy to, or you're sort of party to the shouting and fighting and arguing and just loud accusation, violent accusations that come with these 2 groups just diving at each other's throats almost instantly.
I'm gonna is the elven merchant woman there?
Yeah, she's in
the fisticuffs.
Yeah, she's in. Well, they're not fighting; they're yelling. She's in the chamber, Terza, and she's kind of like shouting at Matthias Creel, who is kind of like slumped in a chair, doing his best to to compose himself, but he looks kind of out of it. Like he looks like he's just been through an ordeal. The rest of the men are almost kind of coming to blows, but the man that you rescued, the kind of chubbier one, is he's just kind of sitting in his own chair off to the side, like trying to stay out of it, but you're not really sure who he is or what he, what his job here is.
I'm gonna jump on the other side of the bar, fill up 2 tankards of ale from the kegs, and then toss them at Matthias and that woman and say, "Oi! Have you done with the yelling? Because none of us here are party to what happened. Can we now talk about who did this? It's none of us. It's none of us.
Both of your lots were entranced by this magic.
Whoever
It's a nice-
did this had control over powers that are very strong, and I indeed too doubt that anybody here would be able to do something like that.
Yeah, unless you're all magic users or enchanters that we don't know about. We've got something different on the plate here, So
Yeah. And
my trader friends.
Unless
So does.
Matthias wanted his trading company, unless Matthias wanted to walk off into the water on his own, I think you can stop shouting accusations at him.
I'm gonna hop down and pour myself a cider and
The
get back around the bar.
the woman will kind of put her hands on her hips. She says, "First of all, I still don't know who you are and what you're doing here, but what I do know is that 3 of my men walked out that door tonight, and 2 of them do not seem to be coming back. And
What I notice is that we did bring back the majority of them. If it hadn't been for us, they'd all be dead by now.
If it hadn't been for you, madam, you woke me up first, right? So
Telepathically, I say to her, you might not want to let them know that. It might
well,
make
you
them
slapped me pretty
suspicious.
hard. You slapped me pretty hard, and it woke me up. Trying to see if I sold that to the party, but so you're welcome, all of you. And now let's really try to get down to brass tacks and find out what the hell happened.
She kind of like looks at you very sourly and sort of takes a few steps back and like sits down in one of the chairs at a table away from Matthias, and she says, "Fine.
I just cheers her.
Let's talk." And as you guys are sort of placing yourselves in the inn, kind of taking a moment to catch your breath, regain your senses, and calm down, beneath the constant rains and the stone-thick clouds outside, the lightning of the sky is all but imperceptible. Still, as far as you can tell, dawn seems to have come to Ashenport, and the town itself should be rising as well. However, from your tavern, you very quickly notice that it is not. Even as the first few moments of morning creep by, the town remains utterly still. No doors slam, no shopkeepers huddle against the rain as they rush to start their new day's business. Other than yourselves and these other outsiders in the tavern, you don't hear a soul stirring at all. The only signs of life that you can hear seem to be the cawing of a few large gulls, undaunted themselves by the rain, that seem to perch atop the town's roofs like flies converging on a bloated corpse.
I'm gonna like gesture over at you and say, can you clean me off? Can you dry me off again?
Yes. Fine.
Meredith, can you do the thing? Or is it LaSalle that did it? Who?
It was me.
Yeah.
I'm the
LaSalle,
waterbender.
can you do the thing? And then I'm gonna be talks amongst yourselves. I'm gonna get dressed, and I run back upstairs.
Yeah,
and
same
Alright.
here.
Get my dress. Right, 5 minutes, please. Hold, please.
I'm
Back at you.
going to while they're changing, I'm going to go to the the rather portly man, and I'm gonna try and talk to him.
Okay.
What be your reason for being in this town? I don't
He
recognize you from before.
kind of looks up at you, kind of very nervously, almost as if he wasn't really expecting you to talk to me. He says, "Oh, I'm Jandal Fan. I'm a jeweler and a sculptor. I heard that, Ashenport pulls quite a bit of gold and treasure from the sea, and I came to sell my services to the folks here to restore, reshape, duplicate some of the various treasures that they acquire. No, not really. Wasn't really prepared for all this. I had two hired men with me. Now I've got one.
Another merchant. Seems as if everyone who comes into this town looking to buy treasure has just wandered off into the sea. And there's not a soul about. Well, I think the best thing to do now would be investigate. The trade fair is supposed to happen today, although it doesn't seem as if there's anyone going to be there. But it might be best to investigate the location where it's meant to be. Also, when we were walking into town, you said there were like people like carrying boxes and stuff. Were they?
Yeah.
Were they bringing it to a specific place? It looked like, or
No, they were just going about business. It looked like.
Okay. Yeah. We came here for a trade fair. I say we get going.
He
The
says,
storm is the storm still raging? By the way?
"Oh yeah, doesn't seem to have abated in any real way."
As I've gotten dressed, I'm going to also go look, before I come back, I'm going to go look and see if I can find Relena.
Okay. Like downstairs.
Like into the kitchen, and yeah.
Kitchen
Is anything?
The kitchen is empty. There's no one back there. There's no.
As
What
far
about
as we
the
know,
innkeeper?
There's no staff in the inn at all, as far as you can tell.
all the locals are gone, basically. It's only the merchants who remain.
That we've woken up. I'll just grab a couple bits and bobs of sausage and whatever is hanging around to bring out to who's left out in the front. Give us a little morning bite.
Okay.
Thanks.
And I'll stoke the fire, and I'll make sure things are kind of not overlooked.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cat trap.
She's bothering me.
And then I think we're gonna go out and go to where the trade fair is supposed to be.
Jandal will be like, you're gonna venture out in this weather? Why not just stay here where it's safe?
Well,
Doesn't
someone
seem-
has to find out what happened to the others. Which reminds me, does anybody know what is out there?
And I'm
Well,
pointing
before
to
we
the general
go,
direction
make sure
of the
if
water.
we open that door, is the noise still out there?
You don't hear it. It was loud enough that like a door wouldn't keep it out.
Okay.
When you ask kind of Matthias says, what do you mean what's out there? There's mud, there's rain, there's
Are there any
ocean.
islands, or is there perhaps a spot that is known to be very rich in artifacts, or perhaps a sunken ship? Anything that might explain the strange ongoings from last night.
Oh, where did you think you were going to find the goods you wanted to buy?
I don't have to
Matthias?
find them. the town finds them. Where they get them, I don't know. I've heard stories, rumors when people come to the city to sell them. They claim they just wash up on the beach.
Ooh.
I have
My-
ideas of where they're
yeah.
getting them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says. But if you want to, there's no island, there's nothing that I know of out there, but you're more than welcome to go check around town if you want. My men and I are most likely going to forego this fair and pack our things and head home. This is not worth whatever's going on here.
Understandable.
Terza says, she says, well, if, she says, I've already lost 2 men. If you think you have the ability to ensure safety, I'm willing to pay what we came here with, to trade for safe passage out of the town.
I look
Well,
at the others.
Well, we did already save you, so gratitude in gold might be appropriate. Partly up from me to ask.
No,
Just an
no-
idea.
there's no point in paying money if none of us are going to make it out of here.
Well, we did wake you up. We chose you.
Yes, would you like gold that you never leave here to spend?
And telepathically,
She
I
has a
say to
point.
Callista, yeah, exactly.
What?
She has a point.
Yeah, she has a point.
Just
Only
points.
that you hear my voice in your head and his out loud.
2 seconds, I'm gonna throw this thing out.
Simultaneously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this thing
Throw
out.
the cat out. This thing. She has
Mike?
a point.
That's
We,
Mike's- But
sorry,
we've
what?
broken a charm. We've broken it. So I don't know if it doesn't seem like we would
But-
get re-charmed, but I honestly don't know.
Certainly doesn't seem safe here for the moment.
No, agreed.
I say
And it's
we
messy
might
with
as
my
well
accent.
help them. We might as
Aye.
well help them now.
Aye.
All right. So did you guys want to venture out into town, see if you can find anything?
Yeah, probably go
Yeah.
to. I guess ask first where the fair was supposed to be.
Does anyone know?
Jandal says, I think they were supposed to set up something. I don't know. I've never been here before, but probably in the big central square they have. I don't know.
Let's go see if 10 stalls have been set up.
Yes.
Okay.
Square first. If not there, that church that we passed coming in looked awfully suspicious, to say the least.
All right. So you guys make your way out into the rain. Let me just change this. So turn that up. Okay. As you guys make your way outwards, you go to you make your way to sort of this big grove in the center of town. It looks much the way it did when you first passed through here. There's no tents, there's no stalls, there's nothing set up here at all.
I get the feeling no fair was ever to be had here.
I think you're right. All a ruse. All a ruse for what?
Who knows? Some sort of ritual of some kind. And if a ritual sounds like a church,
Are you
That's-
suggesting that we pay this chapel a visit?
I
I'm
see
sad,
no
but,
better
but
place.
eyes open. That's agreed, but eyes open.
Of
Yeah.
course.
As we go, just out of curiosity, just like I suppose knock on some doors or anything, see if anyone answers.
Okay.
I imagine that's not going to, but that would probably be what I would do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, knock on a few doors and see if any if they're open. You know, if there's a chandler's shop, or if there's a smithy, or if anything amiss or empty.
Everyone roll me a perception check.
Did I have again?
What have I got here? Ooh, all right.
Where is it? Oh.
23. That's probably good, right?
23.
20.
Okay. All
I'll
of
see
you,
anything.
Twinsies.
all of you are making your way around the town from this square. Where did you want to head from the square?
It's funny.
Which direction? Did you want to head back to the tavern?
Towards the church.
Towards the church. The church is on
Towards
sort of
the church.
a rocky hill up towards the entrance. And as you're making your way there, you're kind of peering out, seeing none of the shops seem to be open. There's no flickering candlelight or anything that indicates there's anyone in the buildings or around them. However, almost at the same time, but all looking in different directions, all of you for a split second are almost positive. Like you could swear that as your eyes are kind of moving away from a facade of the building, you saw something, a face or a shape, kind of move quickly away from a window or
What building was that?
A candle be snuffed at. So all three of you are looking in different directions.
Did you see?
Yes. I'm
We're
quite
not as
sure.
alone here. But
Look alive. Something's amiss.
So could it be that the
Perception.
locals are hiding?
I,
Hiding or taken?
no, I
Hiding or
think
taken?
hiding. If not from us, then from something.
But that would
Worse.
mean that perhaps they actually know something.
I would say so. I'm going to walk up to a random house and just start banging on the door. Open up! We know you're in there.
Arr.
Arr. Yar.
As you pound on the door and yell, there's no response.
The door open?
I'm gonna try to push it
Locked?
up. Force
No,
it
it's
open
definitely
if possible.
locked.
Break it down.
Okay. You want to try and smash it down?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll me a strength check or a mic
We
check,
need
I
your
guess.
help. If you don't open the door, we're
That'd be a
going
28.
to come in anyway.
All right, you kind of lean back and just kind of put a boot to the lock plate on this door, and as it slams inward, you are kind of looking into a darkened house. No lights on.
I know you're in there. I don't want to hurt you, alright? I just want to know what the damn hell is going on here.
Meredith, can you do the mindy thing and see if there are people here?
No, I would have to know. I would have to have a person in front of me.
Okay, right.
Only Felix were here with his blood sense.
Right. I definitely want to go up the stairs and hello? Hello, we don't mean you
Yeah.
any harm, but
Any
we've
response
woken
or
up from
anything?
whatever fun happened last night. Can you tell us? Are you there? Help? Anything? Hello? Just a lass here that's really terrified of what happened. Can you help anyone here? Anyone? Hello?
I think you got it.
There's another kind of clap of thunder and silence.
Alright. Gonna
If you and your smalls, I'm coming in anyway.
I mean, we could go to one of the buildings where we actually saw a face
I'm assuming that's what this is.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to cast a light. Which will basically be like a glowing orb of water in my hand.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
No.
And yeah, I'm just going to just sort of walk around the house and try and looking like the window that I saw a face, and like just carefully scour the room for anyone inside.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Nope,
Room is empty.
not great.
You're standing in what appears to be the kitchen, but the room is, as far as you can tell, empty.
Are there steps leading upwards or downwards? Upstairs,
No, this
downstairs?
is a single story house.
So one. Okay.
Oh.
Are there any? Can I look for trap? What is it called? Like is it called a trap door? On the floor, like any
Cellar door, yeah.
cellar door or something like that.
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
What did I?
Or a thing pulling from the attic or something. Yeah, any of those. Or just look for people. Someone's gotta be here.
Right now I'm looking specifically for doors that might not be visible at first glance.
Okay.
Explode that 20.
Yeah.
20.
Anticlimactic.
All right.
So 23.
You kind of skirt your way around the side of this room, and you notice that the first thing that catches your eye is like, I don't know, one of the shelves kind of against the wall looks a little bit crooked, and as you look, it looks like this armoire has been kind of pushed out of place a little bit. And as you look below it, it looks like just below the bottom of it, there seems to be a sort of a square section of the floor that is separate from the rest of the floor.
Okay, sorry. What did you say the first half was? I spaced out for a second there.
There's an armoire that is moved out of the way.
Oh, okay. Then I
Hello, Poppet.
yeah, I call over the others and I point at the traces, at the marks on the floor.
I'm gonna stab my scimitar down between the floorboards and be like, "Come up now."
Come on, up you go. Come on. Don't
Whatever
make it
you're
hard on
afraid
yourself.
of, we're scarier.
I'm
We're
trying.
not really scary. We just want help. He's a little
Undermining
scary.
my
All
whole
right,
scary thing.
No, he is a little scary. He is. Don't make him come down
Netflix
there.
and
Just,
chill.
really.
Nice. Wow. So
I'm
where are
not
we at
sure
right
that it-
now?
I'm not sure that it's in the floor. I'm trying to move the armoire.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
it's fairly easy to move. You can kind of slide it out of the way of this kind of section in the floor, this separate section, and you can almost, as you do, you can almost kind of feel a little bit of drafty, cold air coming up through the floorboards.
So, but from the floorboards. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I stabbed my sword in the ground and no one said anything.
No, not that you heard.
All right, open it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would also kneel down and see if there's anything that can now be lifted up.
Yeah, with my outlaw background, can I kind of and my expert tracking, can I look for traps and look for a trap door and opening and?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
she's
we
already
found this one
found
already.
one. Do you want, like, I don't? There's probably not going to be
I wanna
another
open
one.
it.
Yeah, you
right.
guys pull this open, and you seem to be looking into a sort of carven dirt or rock tunnel, almost like a crawl space or a basement that leads down below this this floor.
I look down and I say, "Well, who would like to go first?"
All right then, tracker it is, and I jump down.
Okay.
You jump. You have no idea how deep it is.
Well, it definitely looks like these people have a plan. These people definitely have. It looks like they've done this before. If this is here, they're hiding. They're hiding, and if it's a tunnel, they've got.
No,
a plan.
I'm just saying you're brave,
Well-
but just jumping down there.
All right.
I'm stupid.
So you guys make your way into the tunnel itself.
Wait.
There's a draft of cold air, but by the watery light, you are able to kind of follow this tunnel, and it winds for quite a while. You can actually see that it seems to take a turn directly to the south. And as you're walking along, you notice almost immediately that there's this kind of this smaller tunnel seems to join with a larger tunnel that itself is joined by a series of smaller tunnels, almost as if there's sort of a network of these running under the town. But as you follow the main tunnel, wherever this kind of cold draft seems to be leading you, you travel for a good distance, almost like you're walking across the entire town. And as you continue on, you can almost hear noises echoing up from the tunnel itself. As you make your way to the exit, you actually can see light seems to be filtering in, and you can hear kind of echoing sounds as the tunnel itself seems to be exiting inside a cave. You can hear kind of the crashing of waves and the rippling of water, the dripping down the rocks as you seem to be exiting inside some sea cave. But from the echoing, the loud kind of voices just bouncing up to you, it's obvious that somewhere deeper in this cave there is something happening.
I'm like,
Yeah, I'm going to use the invisibility boon on me again, on myself.
Okay.
I don't have any kind of stealth, do I? Do I have a stealthy anything?
I'm not a stealthy man. And that's fine. I don't intend to be.
May I use my master tracker feat to be quiet in stealthy tracking?
Yeah, not really.
It's a stretch, I know, I thought it as.
I'm going to. I've seen Meredith has gone invisible. I'm going to walk in and kind of try and be pretty visible, honestly, as a distraction for her at least, and for Lisa's character as well, Callista.
You got it.
So she doesn't have to get noticed.
So, as you as you walk down this pathway, you can see the seawater seems to be flowing in a shallow stream down the earthen floor of this cave, kind of leading you into this sort of dark hole in the earth. As you follow this, let me just find some music here. Yeah. Here we are. All right. So as you follow the cave deeper, eventually, kind of the cavernous chamber that you pass into, you see it's kind of got blackened walls, suggesting in very dim light that it sort of expands outwards forever. You can see what there's something that just appears to be like a large I don't know what that is. That was her. There something that appears to be like a beast rearing up in the flickering light and roaring in at you. You kind of step forward and you realize that it's sort of a serpent of sharp angles and hideous spines, a large idol that seems to be standing near the far side of this cave. The path itself leading deeper, as you can hear the echoing voices and noises and sounds kind of growing louder as the cave winds around in a great circle down deeper.
Oh.
Do we want to interfere with this?
I don't think so.
From this, so are any of the? Do we see any people?
You don't see them just yet. You're just sort of walking down this winding cavern.
But we hear them.
You definitely hear something, yeah.
Since I'm invisible,
Why don't I go ahead and take a look?
Does anyone have any protection against charming and enchanting?
God, no.
Mm-mm. Protection, no.
Just
high willpower.
Just cheeky. Okay. Let's go.
Callista, let's tread lightly and act as if we were in a trance.
Good idea.
So we're gonna basically try to be like sleepwalking like the people were before.
Yeah.
Down into this cave as she heads invisible ahead of us.
All right.
Yeah, and I switch to inside voice.
Okay.
Telepathy.
Yeah.
You step forward and you actually see the rock wall almost open up as this asymmetrical cavern actually seems to overlook another larger chamber below as the echoing noises kind of finally wash over you. You're looking down into a distant chamber. You see a sequence of multiple monstrous idols and a great kind of black basalt altar, as if in a church, sitting right in front of a shallow lagoon. You can see there's a moderate slope, kind of basically like a slope leading directly down from where you are to the grotto below. You can see that moving behind and kind of gesturing very wildly and talking in a sonorous kind of booming voice appears to be a man clad in tattered black robes, and he seems to be addressing quite a number of congregants kind of kneeled before him, all similarly clad.
If I walk up a little bit closer, am I able to make out his face? Can I recognize him?
No, his face is almost entirely what's it called? Almost entirely blocked by shadow and by his hood.
And the other people around him, are they dressed in the same way, also with hoods?
Yeah.
And you said something about roaring, like as if a beast?
No, that was the idol, the statue that you passed.
Was making a noise?
No, that's what it looked like. It was just a
Okay, got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
You guys, they don't seem to have noticed you just yet. You're sort of standing on this cliff, looking down on this chamber that expands before you. But it's a decent distance down and across to them.
I fall back a little bit and ask the other two,
do you want to go through with this? Do you want to pretend to be in a trance?
I'd like to observe for now and see if we know what the hell is going on.
LaSalle, what about you?
Is this their crazy god? Is this their crazy yearly sacrifice thing? Or are they prisoner of this. I don't know.
Meredith, I say you go on ahead and use your telepathy to report back anything else that you see of them.
Out of character, DM, what would you say? What is the range for telepathy?
I don't know, I mean, probably
It doesn't specify it.
probably
Just
probably
that I
like,
can.
probably like 20, 30 feet.
That's okay.
Well, I can try to move in a little bit closer and come back to you.
And you said there was more. Were there more statues or idols?
There are 3
down there?
large idols that are 2 of them are on the sides of this group of kneeling congregants. One of them rises behind the altar and behind the man in the robes at the altar.
Do they look just like the one that we passed?
The statues look to be that of a sort of a large creature, possibly serpentine, but also with a lot of very batrachian or fish-like features.
My Cthulhu senses are tingling.
I just love that word.
My Naga Thulu. Fish face.
All hail! Okay, then
Orally.
I'm doing that. I'm trying to get a little bit closer.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to track her, and so I can hear her.
By the way, the what kind of ground are we walking on? Because I
You're-
just realized if there's sand on the floor, I have
It
to
is
be careful.
it is dirt, sand, and rock. You,
Okay.
by the way, are up probably about 15 feet, and with a dirt slope that kind of slopes down into the grotto where they are. The mass has gathered.
Okay, then I would try, if possible, to not step on the sections that are super sandy.
Okay.
Trying to step on naked stone if possible, so that nobody who might get distracted from whatever they're doing might see my steps. But basically, what I'm trying to do is see if I can get close enough and sort of around, so that perhaps I can actually see anyone's face at some point.
Or hear what they're saying, understand what they're saying.
So
or that.
the pathway doesn't stop where you are. It actually continues to slope downwards. You could, in theory, take the long way around and probably loop around this cavern, or you could go directly down the slope.
How steep is it?
The slope is functionally a dirt cliff.
Would I have to roll for something if I went down there?
Probably not something you can do particularly quietly.
Okay, we're running out of time. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna try to go down that
Okay.
slope and not fall and not end up over a bonfire or something like that.
Okay. So are you trying to do it? Are you trying to be quiet at all? Or are you just gonna
Yes.
slide down?
Yeah, no, I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Okay. In that case, roll me
With agility?
roll me an agility check.
I'm not that bad in agility. What do I have? A +3. So 16?
Okay. You kind of you are making your way very, very slowly. You're kind of like 1 foot, like your back is against this dirt wall, and you're just kind of sliding a little bit, kind of keeping yourself planted. So you're almost like shimmying down this wall, and there's the loud and echoing chanting and sermon that seems to be coming from this figure at the altar seems to have these congregants enraptured. But just as you're reaching the bottom, they haven't noticed you. You just kind of watch as your foot just kind of like almost you could watch as your foot slips out from a loose rock under you, and the rock itself you see kind of tumbles down the last foot or so down on not a loud noise, but into the grotto below. And as the man has his hands raised, he says, "And so, our Lord has renewed his promise with us, the souls of outsiders, and our bounty continues." And then, as the rock kind of clatters to the ground, he says, "And so he tells us now that we are not alone, for there is work still to be done." And he kind of very slowly points up towards the little kind of window where the other two are standing.
Oh, God.
All right.
Hello down there. I hope we're not interrupting your little dress-up game.
You see all the kind of hooded and cloaked figures kind of turn their heads to turn.
How many are there, by the way?
There are 10 of them, and they all kind of turn towards you, and he says, "You should have walked into the embrace of our Lord, yet you choose not to. But then, why waste the opportunity when you can come down here and be embraced by his touch in front of all of us?"
I'm trying to send a telepathic message to the two just to see if I'm still close enough. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
you're close enough.
Okay.
I could try to distract them and you could get out of here.
I reply, "We're the distraction. You get closer and, get behind him if you can."
Yeah. Yeah, get behind him and take him out if you can.
Precisely.
And I'll say, "Well, this is quite a to-do. And who's the main man? What's the name of the god you're serving?"
The cloaked man is going to
I cast barrier on myself.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of lower his hands to the altar. He says, Names mean so little. All that matters is that you hear his call." And as he does, you see him kind of draw a very large kind of curving dagger from his belt, and he holds up his arms and he says, "Come, will you be embraced?" And with that, we are going to roll some initiative because it is on between you guys here. Let me find some music.
Sorry, I'm not on your dance card. Yeah, because I'm going to whip out my revolver. Revolver beats dagger any day.
Okay, hold on. So, initiative is d20 plus. Says here advantage 2, but I don't have my revolver out. But I think I can still get... Nah, but I don't want to use it, so I'm just getting the 1d8.
Why can't I find good music here?
Really?
Exploding
Explode that six.
Oh, hey! I exploded something! Hey!
Double
Well.
cancel that out.
It's fine.
That is
Does
done.
it cancel at 6? Does it do that?
No, it's just,
No.
it's just X. It's 26.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, let's see. What do you guys have? Let me open a document here. All right. So, LaSalle.
I got a 10.
I don't know why that was as high as me. I should have turned that down a little bit. 10.
Yep.
Okay. Meredith.
21.
21. And last but not least, Callista.
26.
26. Okay,
Ooh,
and
ooh, ooh.
he is going to go ahead and
All right, this needs. Hold on.
one for him. Oh shit! And he's got an
there.
explode. All right, so he is gonna go on.
Okay.
He's gonna go on 23, and that means the cult is going to go on a 10. Okay.
Things me.
Yeah. But there, since you and them are gonna basically act at the same time, so here's what's gonna go. Callista is gonna go first.
All right. I'm
Go ahead.
I'm going to use my. And I'm not sure how this goes, but I'm going to use my revolver.
Okay.
I have a feat of a lethal strike,
Let me.
but I have an action of bleeding melee or maimed. So I'm not sure how that goes together.
No, your revolver's a ranged attack, obviously. So
Okay.
it would be your revolver is an agility attack versus guard.
Okay.
So you go ahead and
Can I
roll.
use lethal strike with that?
That I don't know what that is.
It's a feat. Lethal strike 1, costs 3.
What does it do?
I
Hold on.
don't know.
I'll look it up then.
I'm so sorry. These were the last minute characters.
Lethal strike.
I'm
Your attacks are considered lethal when you fulfill one of the following conditions: target is caught off guard, or the target is within melee range. So no, this can't. He's not
Okay.
within either of those.
So I have a shot ranged attack, so I can do that with my revolver.
Yeah, so that's an agility.
And that's
attack.
agility.
Yep. Go ahead and roll it.
Cool. My agility means 2d6. Okay. Mother of pus bucket. 16.
Explode.
Explode that 6
Oh,
though.
oh, hey! Yes! 19.
All right. As he is kind of rousing his cult into action, you just aim your revolver down into the grotto below, and you fire. And with a loud kind of crack that echoes through this whole chamber like thunder, you see him it clips him high in the shoulder, and he is his arm, the one without the dagger, spun backwards as he reacts. You see him shoot a glance at you, his eyes still shadowed by the hood, but he's clutching his shoulder. He says, "Very well then, it will be blood. Blood for our own sake."
Use my movement to sort of zigzag hide.
Okay, you are still up in that kind of window area looking down, so you can just sort of turn, put your back against the wall so you're out of sight.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
And reload, or if I need to.
Yeah. So you fire down and you duck behind cover, which means next up it is going to be him. You see him raise his arm, the one that you shot to the air, and as he begins talking, he says, "My friends, my loyal family, I do not trust that our intruders are here alone, which means our very way of life is in danger. But it is no matter, for he has, in his eternal wisdom, promised us gifts for just such an occasion." And you see, as he's talking, you see him raise the knife, and he just kind of stabs it into his forearm and begins kind of dragging it down. And as he does, you see the blood begin running down his arm and dripping onto the altar itself. And as he holds it there, he just kind of starts breathing heavily. You see his hand seems to actually be crushing something, like holding something. You see a black kind of chain,
A new follower.
dangling down from the palm as he begins sort of incanting something. That's really all he's gonna do on his turn. Meredith, what would you like to do?
I would like to incapacitate him. Do the same that I tried to do on LaSalle earlier, that I tried to basically make him faint, or at the very least, send out like a mental burst or a psychic burst that's strong enough to interrupt him, but ideally to just make him go unconscious.
Okay. So, what are you rolling against? Your
Influence.
versus his resolve?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Oop!
Got that
Hold on.
exploding 10.
And
Yes!
your d20s aren't great, but it doesn't matter.
So 27.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. And that is gonna beat it by more than 10, so you get to inflict a bane on him.
Okay, hold on. I mean, he's already. So does he falls unconscious?
Is that what you want to inflict the unconscious?
Yeah, ideally yes.
Okay, let me check that out.
So incapacitate, it says. Hold on. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Paralyzing strike, enchanter's magical song of sleep, paralysis by poison, fainting from extreme heat, suffocation, and the gaze of the Medusa.
Ooh.
Just to give ideas.
Okay, what was the power level that you wanted to cast that?
7. Because I assume that how it goes, because I have 7 on influence.
Not really. That's not how the power you have to choose which
Okay,
power
I
level.
also
You,
misunderstood.
yeah, you just have to choose.
Oh,
which
you said that the DC would then be.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm fine with 5 because I'm still at him, right next to him. Because it says here 5, the effect.
You're not right next to him. You're across the. You're at the bottom
True.
of the wall there. There's the cult between you and him.
True. So what did you say? Did he fall unconscious, or did he just?
I don't know. You have to tell me what power level you wanna cast it at. I need.
The lowest one, 5.
Okay, so you begin channeling, and you see him like he's kind of you see him begin kind of like losing his balance as you kind of press into his mind, and he kind of plants his hand down on the table as he attempts to stabilize himself. But you see he very seems to be losing the battle before he kind of eventually just slumps down over the altar, his arm just kind of hanging over and dripping blood down the side of this black stone dais. Now at power level 5, basically any kind of thing happening to him can break the incapacitate.
Okay, and you just said that because that I get to invoke another bane on him because.
Oh well, that was your bane. That's normally that's on a damaging attack. That was my bad.
Oh, okay.
Because you weren't rolling a damaging attack. You were just trying to cast a bane on him.
Oh, okay. And then I would use my movement to get closer to him and I'm also drawing my revolver.
Okay, cool. So you can kind of skirt around the cult, but there's 10 of them, and they're kind of spreading out and making their way towards you. So it's up to you how you want to get closer to him.
Is anybody? Well, I can't really take another action. I think I'd be willing to take a little bit of a detour to avoid bumping into one of them.
Okay,
I'd rather take 2 more seconds to get to the guy.
Okay, well, you can't avoid bump. Like, they're spreading out. They're between him and you, so there's no way you can just skirt around them and then, like, have them just stay where they are. But you can basically try and... What you notice is where there's his altar, there's water behind him, and water stretching out, so it's almost like a beach kind of, or a grotto here. So you can kind of skirt over towards the water around the wall. And then kind of that, like, you kind of be going around the group.
A new follower.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. So you're kind of doing your best to kind of jockey with a couple of these cult members who are blocking you. I don't know what that roll was. Next is going to be the cult and LaSalle. So LaSalle, what are you doing?
LaSalle is going to use like his water bending to looking at the water behind them, this little shoreline, just raise it up, and as he does so, say to all of them, "You think your god be of the sea? Your god is nothing but false. I have the power of the sea at my hands, and this is not her will." And he's going to just sort of make the water rise up and form this serpent creature, and just have that come out and slither out of the water towards them, and seem really big and intimidating.
Okay.
So that's summon creature. Which I can do at, I'm going to try and do it at power level 5.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on. I had a... Where did my character sheet go?
And how far
Let's
is
see.
it from where we're hiding to them, to the guy?
They're about 15 feet to the guy, probably about 15 feet down, and maybe like another 30 across.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Alright, I only rolled a 13, so I didn't really succeed in making that thing appear.
Can I
make
help
some
him?
water bubble.
Can I help
rise.
him with my persuasion?
No, you don't have a power over the water. That's not a thing. No, you attempt to pull the water up, but actually, as you do, because you have a very close connection with the water, we'll say that rather as you're kind of beginning to form this, you're almost like you can almost feel the water, almost as if you're shaping it like clay. Not with your hands, but almost like with your senses. And as you do, you notice that the water itself is kind of being pulled or moved by not what doesn't seem to be just a natural tide. You can almost feel that there is something else in the water.
Something be disturbing my lady, the sea. Controlling her. My
Alright.
duty to protect.
While you're doing that, the cult is going to a couple of them are going to rush towards Meredith, and they're going to make 2 attacks.
Oh no.
This is one
So
dagger.
Did my spell drop basically, or did I bump into them?
Oh, invisibility. I'm assuming that drops when you attack someone.
Yeah. I don't know if it specifies it, but I would assume so.
I just assume it because
Yeah.
It's concentration or something. Sustain persist.
Normally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so 1 is a 14 against your guard.
Hold on. My guard is 14.
Okay, so the first one's not gonna hit, but the second one is, as you're gonna get you're kind of jockeying around, and you feel this one of these cultists just kind of dive forward and jam his knife down in the back of your leg, and you kind of are actually tumble forward, kind of sprawling out in the sand as you are knocked prone. Your kind of revolver skidding a few feet out of your hand as you are just on the edge of the water. That's the two of them. The others are going to kind of begin sort of swarming towards the cliff wall to attempt to scramble up it, but they don't really have any ranged weapons to get at you just yet, but they are coming towards you guys. Okay, he's unconscious, so we're going back to the top of the round. Callista, what do you want to do?
I want to get to the dude that's given us all the trouble.
You'd have to go down the cliff and through the cult that's now coming up the cliff at you.
Or I can just shoot
You could shoot him.
through the window.
Yeah, no, you can shoot down at him. That you can definitely do.
I've got to shoot down at him, and then how do I inflict a bane on him?
You have to deal 10 or more damage, or you can just tell me which bane you want to attempt to inflict without a damaging attack.
I want to inflict the persistent damage bane.
Can you do that?
You can. It's generally like
It's
with a
listed.
poison or something.
I'd like it to be instead of covering, one of the things that lists is covering them with acid. What I'd like to do is either shoot an artery or make that water come over him and drown him, like just pour over him. Like he's a magnet for the water. With whatever magic he's trying to use, I want that magic to turn on him and make it drown him.
Okay, so
Can I do
you want to inflict the persistent damage bane?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be a where am I here? That is going to be I just lost it. But I had it for a second. That is going to be
at 4.
Agility versus his guard. So what's your agility roll?
My guard is 18. My agility...
No, not your guard. You have to roll agility against his guard.
Agility is 2d6. Okay.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Come on! Wait, let me spell it right. Come on! Oh, my lanta.
At least one exploding die.
Yes. Oh. Come on. 17 total.
A 17 is just enough to hit him. Now, here's what's going to happen. Because you have to invoke it at a power level 2, that's going to be 1d4 damage per round. So go ahead and roll the d4 damage.
4. It explodes!
Yeah, go for it.
7.
All right. So as you aim down, you kind of fire another cracking shot that echoes through the cavern. This time you kind of strike him right in the side as he's slumped over this altar. And the hit is definitely enough to rouse him out of his unconscious state, because that is, well, it would have been no matter what. But yeah, as he's kind of shocked, like thrown backwards and kind of shocks awake as he clutches now a wound in his side. It's not deep, it's kind of like a shallow cutting wound, but it is bleeding, and you can see him kind of holding it, though he doesn't seem much concerned with the actual blood flow, because he already cut his arm open to bleed on the altar, and as he catches his breath, he is going to we're gonna see, is it his turn yet? Yes, it is his turn next. So, Callista, do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to attempt to run somewhere?
paint me a picture. So there's the window in the thing. Then there's the rolled down, and that's all.
The
There's no
window.
other cover?
There's a window. So there's walls.
rock.
And there's the basically where the pathway slopes downwards towards the to take a long kind of circuitous route to the cavern below you, or you could go out the window directly down a cliff into the cavern.
That is what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Directly down.
There's the cult that is at the bottom of that cliff, kind of trying to climb up towards you.
I want to jump right on top of them.
Okay. Roll me an agility check. However,
in for a penny, in for a pound. My agility 2d6. Okay. Oh,
wait, what?
A six.
Yeah, hold on. You added a minus there. Does that
Wait,
mess
what?
up
Yeah,
anything?
you rolled
Yeah.
You typed 2 instead of 20 for the
What?
initial roll.
Plus 2d6.
Just roll the d20 again. Yeah.
And there's still a 6!
Yes.
I still exploded it! That's amazing! Alright,
17. So
17!
we'll say as you kind of leap out of this window, it's about 10 feet down as you are going to kind of come land on top of one of these cultists. However,
Roll away!
not really much place to roll, as you are going to be basically smack in the middle of the group when it comes their turn next round.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I disengage at all? Can I do that?
There's more of them than there are of you. Your back is basically to a wall here.
Oh, I didn't realize that! Well,
It's a cliff. It's a cliff. You jump down the cliff.
Yeah, but I thought there was 30 feet between me and the rest of the crew.
Yeah, well, you could, if you wanted to make the jump longer, you would have missed the group and probably just landed on the solid earth. And that would have probably been a lot harder to landing the stick.
I didn't realize that, but here we are! Oh no!
All right. So that is their turn. On his turn, now that he is roused awake, you see him.
Who woke him up, by the way? Did anybody kick him?
She shot him.
I shot
Oh.
him, and
Oh,
I
you
gave
shot
him
him.
some
Okay, that was a
persistent
tough hit.
damage, and that will sustain.
Okay.
All right. So he is going to be roused awake. And as he's kind of sitting there bleeding and breathing deeply, he looks around and he says, "I am but a speaker, but I am not the master's true servant. He comes for us." Oh, and as he's about to finish his statement, there is a kind of a loud rumbling, and you see the seawater behind him begin to kind of bulge upwards. And as it does, a dark shape seems to kind of be rising out of the water as this dark, salty water is pouring off of it. This large creature towering over this man, just almost before you have a chance to see to get a glimpse of what you're even looking at, you see one large shelled claw is going to kind of come crashing down on the altar and the man itself as this probably 20-foot tall, hunched over crab-like creature with kind of large clacking claws and writhing legs, kind of sinuous antennae, is going to surge out of the water, and as it is making its way, it kind of pulls the crunched corpse of this priest away from it, and begins sort of just knocking idols down over and kind of crashing through this little cult gathering area. The cultists themselves, kind of some of them turning away from Callista to drop to their knees, others screaming in terror and kind of turning to flee. This whole cavern seems to have been thrown into chaos with the emergence of whatever this is. But as it does, Meredith, what do you want to do?
Well,
You're
roll
on-
bar's open.
You're on the ground, and your revolver is just out of your hand.
A new follower.
I'm going to dominate the monster.
Yes, yes.
I mean, what else am I going to do? Just throw a dagger at it? Or should we run? Do you want to run? We can run. I think I want to see how hilariously I will fail trying to use dominated on that thing.
Do it big. Do it go large.
It's up to you. It's your choice.
Well, no, I use it. I use it. I will use it on power level 5 because I'm just because that allows me to use lesser domination. The target obeys on a one-word command until the end of the next turn. Well, maybe that will give us time to run. So it's power level 5.
Okay.
You can target creatures of human intelligence or better with lesser domination. That was the one word.
Okay. So if you beat the DC to cast this, you will essentially be able to give it one command, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. What power
Tap
level?
dance.
What power level? 5, you said?
5. Yeah.
That's a DC 20 you have to beat.
No, it's a Bane, so it's against his will.
Oh, it's a Bane, so it's against his will, isn't it? Yeah, that's correct. What'd you
What
roll?
does that mean? 18.
An 18 is not enough. As you kind of
Well, now we're gonna get dark on
focus your mind, and as you just send this pulse out, you almost feel it kind of like you feel yourself reaching out and touching whatever is within this thing, and it's almost as if you are touching some sort of force, some sort of presence that is greater than anything you've ever kind of touched with your own mind. It's almost overwhelming, and you kind of instinctively kind of reel back from it as it kind of turns its plated head, these two kind of large bulbous fish-like eyes under the like kind of twitching in its shell as it turns its head towards you and focuses it both like directly at you. Anything else you want to do?
Scramble backwards, sort of like in the sand, like doing this because I'm still knocked prone. I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. So you kind of scramble through the dirt as you kind of back yourself up to the nearest wall, and you kind of look over your shoulder and you see there's that kind of sloping path that leads up through the tunnel you just came through. It's a couple feet away, but if you got up and ran next turn, you could probably get there. That is Meredith. So LaSalle, what are you doing?
So seeing a large creature emerging from the depths of the sea, LaSalle wants to try and use the sea against it, and try and use his energy powers to just bring the crashing waves over it and freeze it.
Okay.
I don't know if I should roll. I mean, I guess it's an energy roll no matter what.
Okay. Against his are you trying to like immobilize it, or are you trying to damage it?
I guess I'm going to try to damage it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me the energy attack against its, we'll say, its toughness.
It's a 30 with an exploding 8.
All right.
That's a 36.
Nice.
That will definitely damage it, and enough so for you to get a Bane on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the immobile Bane. So it can no longer move. The ice has just the water crashed over it into it, and the ice just froze around it, and it's struggling to.
Yeah, as you
move.
kind of pull, like almost like this thing has sort of shocked you and kind of revulsed you to your core, and as you just reach out and kind of grab the ocean with your energy power, you pull a crashing wave onto the shore, just covering these two statues and kind of crashing around this thing. And as you just pull it down, the whole wave itself just freezes, like its temperature just drops in a split second, and this thing's many kind of claw-like legs are now frozen in place. You don't know how long you're going to be able to keep it there, but it is the lower part of his body seems to be stuck.
See what's come of your god. There is nothing to him.
Yeah.
Give up. Turn against him, and we'll let you live another day.
All right. And the cult, I'm going to see, there are 10 of them, so 1d5.
Oh god.
5 of them have fallen to their knees in worship. One of them has fled, which is going to leave 4 of them to 2 of them are going to they're going to use their might to attempt to restrain what's it called Callista. So this is
Might against
your toughness. So a 30
17.
Okay, a 30 is definitely enough. So one of them you managed to like kick off, but the other one is just gonna kind of grab you one of your arms, like behind your back, almost like an arm bar, and kind of keep you restrained as this creature is just towering above you. And you hear him kind of, no, you can't leave, not now.
He's nothing but a lobster.
So the other 2 are going to scramble for their weapons, and one of them is going to make an attack. LaSalle, you're still up on the cliff, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
menacingly.
Then the one that stabbed
Yeah.
Meredith is going to make another attack at her. A 12 against your
That will
guard.
not hit.
All right.
14.
Yeah, you just managed to kind of
nice.
You just managed to kind of kick him away as he's scrambling through the dirt, attempting to stab you again. But he does not. Callista, what do you want to do?
Well, is it my turn?
Yeah.
He gets another 7 points of damage.
He's dead.
He was crushed.
Oh, that's
by the-
right. That's right. Okay. So, can I switch my bane to? Well, I'm in range with this guy that's got me down, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a bleeding. I'm gonna get my dagger out, and because we're so close, I'm just gonna get my dagger out, switch it up in my hand, and up into his sternum for a bleeding melee action.
All right, go for
Can I
it.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do I roll for that? How do I know my agility is?
It's a normal agility attack.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With advantage. So you get to roll the d20 again.
So here's the first roll, plus a 6, and it explodes.
All right. Go ahead and re-roll that one.
That's the reroll.
Okay. And you,
And
can,
then-
you can roll the 20 again to see if you do better.
Let's see. No,
All right.
it's still 24.
24 is definitely enough to do it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
All right. So you get to roll a 1d4 persistent damage against him.
Come on. 2.
All right. So as you kind of stab in the dagger, you hear, and as you twist it and then kind of pull it out, you leave a kind of a bleeding liver wound. That is, you've kind of nicked the liver, which does not stop bleeding, and he's just kind of doubled over in pain as he has kind of let your arm go free, now clutching the painful wound in his stomach. So you stabbed him, and he's bleeding. What do you want to do? Do you want to run? Do you want to stay where you are?
I'm going to say, "Surf's up, asshole," and I'm going to back away to him. And who else needs help? Who can I get toward? Who's covered right now? Who's meleeed right now?
I am. The guy
I'm
is
gonna
still...
I'm gonna head towards her to help out with that. As my action. It's my movement.
Okay. So you can rush over to her. She's you two are basically now just at the lip of this passageway that leads up out of the cave.
Okay.
So you can't really, you can just get to her. You're not really going to be able to do much this turn, but you can get over there. The leader is dead, but his creature will instead go. He is going to for immobile.
Yeah.
I forget how he gets out of that.
Nice lobster.
For immobile, he gets to make a. He makes some sort of. He makes the same check again. Oh no, he's just stuck there. And then.
No, it says duration resist ends, right?
Oh yes. Okay. So yeah, he gets to roll his toughness, or I guess might, against it again.
Okay. So then he will definitely roll his might. What's the DC on it?
I don't know.
That's fine.
I could roll against it with my energy again.
Doesn't say. That's weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? Just re-roll. He's gonna make a might check.
Okay.
And we'll call it that.
And I re-roll my energy.
Yeah, sure.
18.
A 15. All right, so he is kind of like, you see him kind of pull, and the ice kind of cracks, but you kind of double the strength of your concentration, and he is kind of struggling against it. You see him kind of reach out to kind of grab at Meredith and Callista, but they are just sort of out of reach of his large claws, as he seems to be stuck for the moment. All right, that is his turn. He can't do anything. Meredith, what do you want to do?
Would you be okay if we said that I could, before I start to scramble back from that monster, that I was able to grab my revolver?
Yeah, you can kind of have picked it up on the way to the wall. It's you know, it was just out of reach, but you can move enough to get
Okay,
it.
then I'd like to shoot at the guy who tried to stab me again.
All right, go for it.
So that's agility, so that's plus 1d8. Up. In the wrong window. Ew. That doesn't really do much. So 10.
No, 10. You just kind of you're just kind of trying to like get a grip. You're kind of shaking at this point, but you take a loud cracking shot. Unfortunately, it goes wide.
Am I standing at this point? Am I
No, you're still on the ground.
Okay, then I would like to get up.
Okay.
How does it work in this system? Do I still have movement left?
You
after
can still
getting
move
up?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would try to sort of. Am I between the monster and this guy right now? Am I seeing that right?
He's like directly in front of you. The monster is probably about 10 feet past that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to back up from
Okay, do you want to go up the tunnel?
Yeah, I would want to try that.
Okay, you take a couple steps back up the tunnel, but you kind of pause to look back and see Callista is still in the chamber. You're gonna have to wait for her to get back, so that's gonna be the end of your movement as you begin doing that. The cult, there is one of them is going to continue to. He's gonna take 1d4 damage. I'll roll that for you because all right, he's gonna take a little bit more damage. This one is going to actually the one that's on the ground is he is going to let me see something. Okay, so there's only really two of them that are still trying to get to you guys. One of them is climbing up the cliff. He's gonna LaSalle, you just see his hands kind of grit the edge of the cliff as he's using his whole turn to kind of pull himself up there with you. The last one is still kind of on the ground. He's still a little bit injured, so he's crawling his way towards Callista to attempt to stab her, but he hasn't quite reached her yet. LaSalle, what do you want to do?
Seeing a guy climbing up, LaSalle I think is going to jump down and try and stomp his head down on his way.
Okay, you want to kick him off?
No, I want to literally jump down and not kick him off, more land on him as I'm falling.
Okay.
Just sort of slide down, kicking him, you know?
Okay, that will essentially put you down in this giant room with the rest of the cult.
Fine. Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a might check.
Will I still be able to make an attack when I'm down there?
No, that is basically your attack.
Maybe not then. I think I'm actually going to, in that case.
If you wanted to just make it an attack and move, I'd say you could wait till he gets to the top and then kick him in the face or something else. But
no, I'm not worried about this guy honestly in front of me.
Okay.
We've got a giant monster who's incapacitated right now, but
it might be better if you stay up there because then you can help us or give us a hand.
If I can, I'd like to try and just convince everyone, all the rest of the cultists, that their god is weak and worthless, and there's no use serving it anymore.
How do you want to do that?
I guess. Ooh, actually, good idea. Wait, no, I don't. What? I don't have phantasm. Never mind. I guess I'll try and do summon creature again, and just if I can. I don't need it to be strong, so I'm only going to do it at level 4. I'm going to try and summon this very large-looking water serpent from behind them, and just make this intimidating creature with a 27
plus exploding.
plus that's a 32.
To summon, what are you trying to summon?
Summoning a water serpent to just sort of appear behind them and say, "Look, your god is no match for ours."
Okay, it's not an actual creature, it's more like a conjuration of water, right? Or are you trying to actually
Yeah, I mean technically it could attack as if it were one, but it's more
manipulation more than creating a living thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so you manage to force the water up into this giant sort of sea serpent-like shape, and as you do, it kind of lets out a bellowing, kind of like a billow that echoes through the chamber, and all the eyes kind of seem to turn towards this, and the confusion and the panic that has already been this place has already been thrown into. You look around, and I mean, their eyes are off you, so you can, if you wanted, you could try and slip away.
Do I want to try and slip away though? My friends are still down there.
They're they're at the. You see him at the entrance of the tunnel, like down below you.
All right. Yeah. I suppose in that case, I want to still like yell to everyone. Be not in all of your God, be in all of ours. There is no use in fighting us all. You're no match. And then just sort of, I leave you to your fates. And run back up away, I guess.
All right. Give me just a second here. So as he's doing that, that is gonna... Callista, what do you want to do?
Okay, so how far am I to Big Baddie? Big monster dude.
He's about 30 feet away from you. And frozen.
Oh, and he's frozen.
Yeah.
So he's immobilized. So who's my foe? Who's my closest foe?
Probably the dude that's crawling on the ground to get to you. You see Meredith is... like, she just passed you, running up the tunnel behind you.
Is she...
I'm not yet up the cliff.
No,
You're
so,
not,
no, not a cliff. Like there's a tunnel because the cliff went straight down.
Oh, you mean
down.
the longer?
Yeah, the tunnel would have curved
gotcha.
a long way down. So that's where you kind of went up.
Okay.
lethal strike has to be...
It's
target is within melee attack of a range of an ally.
Yeah.
So no.
So I can't do that. If he's already prone, right?
He's
Just
still on
leave
the
him there.
still on the ground. Yeah, he's crawling towards you.
And he's 10 feet from me?
Well, little less.
Little less?
The worm
Okay,
needs,
good.
needs some fodder. Just leave him.
Yeah, I guess we can just leave him. I guess. I mean, I can just... I'm not sure what scuffle... I have an action of scuffled, and it says melee immobile bane on it. So my casting... It's an action, and it says scuffled, and in parentheses it says melee, immobile bane. So can I immobilize this guy with a little scuffle action? Can I just kick it, sand in his face?
I mean, that I'm assuming that is
And then go up.
because it's a melee attack. I'm assuming that's probably like locking someone down in the middle of a fight.
All right, he's crawling towards me. I'm just gonna pull up my revolver and shoot him in the head, and then go up and then follow you guys up the thing, because we don't need to stay there, right? We're all gonna go.
There's one
Are
last
we?
thing. If you don't kill him, there's one last thing I would like to try.
All right. Well, on your turn, all right. So go ahead and roll an agility attack.
Agility is 2d6. Wait a minute, did I
You didn't.
do that right?
No.
Also, a trick, if you just hit up on the keyboard while you're in the chat, it'll go to your last roll.
And hey, look, I can explode that 6.
You can, because that one is not doing you any favors.
So if I just hit up.
A 15.
15.
It's-
He's prone.
Ooh,
It's
that's
just
really
enough to hit
cool.
him, but it's not really like it's enough to kind of knock him, like, you know, to send him sprawling. But he's probably more like he's now bleeding, and like you shot him like in the arm. He's like bleeding into the sand, but he's not really like dead. But you can, if you'd like to, just turn and run.
I want to go. Where are LaSalle and...
LaSalle, as far as you know, is still where you left him, up at the top of the big window area. You, Meredith, is just up the tunnel from you. Like, this tunnel slopes back around.
I'm going to follow Meredith.
Okay, so you can kind of run up the tunnel to get to her. You have a bit more movement than she does, so you can kind of go up around this curve. As you do that, the big monster thing is going to roll a big old check to try and and break free.
Roll like me.
To try and break free from this ice.
Noonan.
16
Does it do
I
it?
rolled a 21.
is not enough to break free as he is still stalled. Unfortunately, he is just going to smash his claw down into the nearest kind of worshipping cultist, kind of picking this thing up and just putting it into its crab-like crushing maw as it that is really all it can do this turn. Meredith, what do you want to do?
I stop for a moment and turn around and to see what Callista is doing, and as she runs past me, I try to invoke the Dominated Bane again on that last dude who's still there.
Okay.
At the power level 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that is versus his resolve.
Yeah. 29.
Ooh!
That'll do it. What
Nelly.
command do you want to give him?
Worship.
It's a little bit vague.
Well, that's the problem. I can only give him a one-word.
I'll say
Command.
you can. I'll say.
I mean, can I make a gesture towards the creature and say worship?
Yeah, I'll say you can you can direct his attention. Like,
Worship.
okay, so you want him, he kind of like rolls over on his back and begins kind of like, revering
Om Namah Shivaya.
the giant sea monster, cutting off his pursuit. And as he does, do you wanna flee up the tunnel?
Yes, please.
All right. So as you do this,
I just hope that a little snack like that will hold the monster back a little bit longer.
Once he thaws.
as you guys, as that happens, the last guy has been has kind of been enthralled by the sea serpent. So LaSalle, when they come running by you, you want to join them and kind of run out of the cave?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys will basically make just a beeline out of this cave. Eventually, as you pass the kind of the winding sea, sea spray on the walls and out into the daylight, you find yourself, unless you wanted to go back into the tunnel that you came from.
Whatever way gets us back to daylight the fastest.
Okay.
Daylight. Daylight.
So
I
you-
don't want to get stuck in that tunnel.
Yeah, so you run out of the sea cave and you find yourself standing on the shore. It is still raining, but it is light out as the storm is still raging. But you guys are alive, and it's up to you what your next move is. As
Booking the next train out of this damn town.
all right, you could.
So
What's up?
we are now in between. We're now towards the shore, right?
You find yourself
So-
at the bottom of like a sea cliff, essentially just to the south of the town.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, we're out of town. Fantastic.
Well, yeah, just at the southern end of its kind of beaches and docks and stuff. So like just on the edge of town. So, do you want to go back for your friends in the tavern, or are you just out of here?
I
What
say
friends?
we collect our merchant friend's treasure as we escort them out of here. The enemies
Yes,
seem
let's
to
try to
be
do it.
All right.
Okay.
preoccupied.
All right, I'm up for that.
All right. And so as you guys rush back into the town, the townspeople still kind of hidden away. You manage to, because it's only been maybe about an hour or two, you manage to collect the trading consultoriums and explain the situation and make a quick exit out of town, earning your reward and getting as far away from this devilish
I'm gonna-
storm as possible.
Taking
Never
every
to return.
I'm gonna loot every bottle of wine that I can carry from that tavern, because they owe me, and every kind of like sweet treat and food
Yeah.
we can get. I am just gonna be like,
I'm fine
it's a
stealing
buffet.
everything we see.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
candlesticks, whatever. I'm looting
Towels.
this tavern. Towels, miniature shampoos. I'm taking
Ashtrays.
everything.
And-
Everything I can grab.
Bathroom.
And with that,
Bathrobes, slippers.
and with that, it looks like while the town has been left to its own devices, it seems that you guys have, at very least, made it out of Ashenport alive. And so that is where we're going to end our session. Oh man, we ran a little bit late there. We ran a little bit over time, but that's all right because we made it out alive. So as always, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Thank you all for joining us for a little bit of an off night. Thank you for all the hosts, man. So many auto hosts and regular hosts coming in tonight. So thank you guys for all the support. We're going to bounce out of here in a little bit, but of course we've got some announcements to go through and a raid to get going because we want to pass the D&D love on to someone else. But first, let's go around to our crew and get some thoughts on tonight and maybe some hooks and plugs. Tell us where we can find you on the internet and all of that good stuff. So let me turn down the Sirenscape and turn up the other fantasy music while we talk to our crew. Speedy man, what did you think of tonight?
It was really fun for something that was thrown together so quickly. It was a pretty nice world. I mean, I guess you probably had this prepared a while ago, still, just in case. But yeah, it was really good. I loved working with Open Legend. I love the fact that like I was able to. We had 30 minutes before the start. We were like, we're gonna have to do a one shot, and I was like, all right, let me just make a character in like a minute. And I was able to do that because it's just a matter of putting in the stats, pretty much. And then you have access to all the banes and boons. But yeah, a lot of fun. I enjoyed it as always. Why is the spooky music starting?
Oh no! Do you want the? Wait, hold on. Do you want the?
Ominous.
Do you want the fantasy music? Here, we get the fantasy music. There you go. Normal
right.
It all sounds similar. So awesome, man. Yeah, no, I like the fact that, I mean, you kind of have to know the Open Legend system, I guess, to throw together a character kind of quickly. But I guess once you get the concept, it is fairly easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what you get up to on the internet, where they can find you, all that good stuff?
Yeah, my name's Speedy. I'm Not So Speedruns on Twitch and Twitter. You can follow me in either of those places. I do variety casts and also D&D. On Sundays, I do games with viewers and guests and stuff. I've had Lisa on the show as a guest before, and I bring on people from chat and everything. So it's a real fun time. I use a bunch of different systems, and then I've been doing Lost Minds of Fandelver on Mondays, and then I do a bunch of indie games for variety and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So. Come by sometime.
Awesome. And what about you, Lisa? What did you think of tonight?
Oh my god, this was so much fun. And like Speedy was saying, I had less than 30 minutes to roll up and find a character, and Open Legend is amazing for there were characters you can just I took a demon hunter and I gave it a new name and I added another level, and the user interface, the UI, gave me the points I needed to add to it. It's so user friendly. It's so great, and I'm still learning how to use it. But it was so great to just go, plug in, done. We have a character that I can now play and have fun in this amazing thing you whipped up in minutes.
Word of our
that's amazing.
Acclaim spreads.
I can't take I can't take that much credit. Speedy's right. This is something I had written from a while back.
But it's so cool. Your writing is so cool, and so
thank you so much.
It's so cool. So, this was really, 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 really fun. And you can find me. I am Lisa Bell on Twitter, and I am Danger Lily on Twitch. I don't have a stream yet. I'm learning what all that is. But on every Tuesday right now, and I think it's either between 5 or 10 episodes for season 1. Seasons 2 and 3 are coming. I am Terry Housden on Sight Unseen, which is an audio drama, audio comic book, sci-fi, supernatural superheroes on Wondery.com. WONDR, Wonder, DERY.com. On the podcast there of Secrets, Lies, and Audio Tape. And we're getting great reviews, and the second episode is out every Tuesday. You'll see that, and I'm the mother of the lead of Amanda, and she goes blind and gains superpowers, and I am a seeing person who is blind to her life.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
It's great.
Well, absolutely go check that out. And of course, go check her out on Twitter. Dice Lulu's got the link for you there. Go show her some love and support. She is fantastic, and we love having her here. And last but not least, one of the newer members of the Exploding Dice family, Petra. What did you think of tonight and jumping in here sort of at the last minute?
Well, not that last minute. At least, unlike the other two, I had some time to create a character. Yeah, no, but I was really hyped to finally get to try out the Open Legend RPG system, and I really like it. I mean, I agree with you. You have to read up a little bit, but you learn it pretty quickly. And I have to say, one thing I really appreciate is that weapons do not come with a fixed damage die. Because that is always something that kind of annoys me a little bit, because in our world, for example, if you get a headshot, then you're dead. But in another system like D&D, it's, something else can be much. Yeah. So at least that you in this game you have the potential to, with one shot, I don't know, probably not kill a monster or something like that, but there's a potential to.
You totally can, because the dice keep exploding as long as you keep rolling max. So because it's not like D&D where you roll a hit and then you roll the damage. The damage is part of the to hit roll. Like whatever you beat their score. So if you're rolling versus their toughness, whatever you beat it by is how much damage you do. So you could, in theory, roll like 100 for your hit and do and kill a dragon. If you want, but more likely you're gonna roll that 100 on like a perception check.
No, but yeah, I really enjoyed it because it's so open and so versatile. And like the other said, even though we only had relatively little time, it was a fun troop. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm gonna put my handle in the chat in a bit. And then, as I said at the beginning, you can see me here on this channel every Wednesday from now on with the new campaign, Iron Gods, which is a mixture of fantasy and high tech. So my arcane trickster beheaded a robot this week, which was pretty cool. And then I have something else coming up on another Twitch channel, and I will give you more information once I'm allowed to, because I think it's still supposed to be secret right now. But it's a new campaign that's going to start on the 1st of March, I think, or the 2nd, whatever the Monday is. I don't know.
May.
But yeah.
Awesome.
May.
Okay, so and of course my name is Astrid. I am your host and dungeon master here. And I am the conduit through which you experience all this role playing. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Thank you for joining us. Of course, as they've mentioned, if you want more role playing, we have some great role play content. 3 live play shows a week now. We're not going to be having a show tomorrow because it's Easter and everyone's going to be having dinner with their family. But of course, you can join me on Monday for Askren's Creative Monday, where I either am making maps or drawing character art or making emotes, whatever we feel like doing. Usually it's a way to wind down from the weekend and just chill out with you guys. Then on Tuesday, we've got the Fuzzy Dice, the DM show, where I bring on like the best of nerd celebrities and content creators and all that. This week we're going to be hanging on the Twitch front page with Mike Merles. There's going to be tons of hype, lots of giveaways, all kinds of good stuff. I hope to see you all there. I'll be making lots of noise about it over the course of the week. And then Wednesday, our brand new campaign, Iron Gods, continues. And I wanted to say thank you first to Mr. Marcus13, and also Velvet Smile, and Face on Wall, and Bebarase, I think that's how you say it, and Gilbert 1000, and Prantagonist for following today. Thank you guys for joining us, and welcome to the madness. We are happy to have you. So that's the schedule of things that are going on. If you guys haven't already followed, please hit that follow button. It's the best way to get all of the information about the upcoming content that's coming to the channel. We're bringing you more stuff all the time. And check me out on Twitter. It's !social. Dice Thulu will hook you up. I'm just at Askren on Twitter, and that is the official place for all information about Exploding Dice. And if you want more, if you want to chat with the cast, you should come hang out on Discord,
Word of our community's
where
acclaims,
you can
friends.
join these guys. We have channels to talk about all of these games, DM channels, just all kinds of good stuff going on the Discord channel. So please join the Bomb Squad over there. It's a lot of fun. And if you really enjoyed the game and you want to support in an ongoing way, consider hitting that subscribe button, GameWisp subscribe button right down below. You get all kinds of cool monthly benefits and everything. Thank you once again for the hosts, Cutie Paw and Blade Master. You guys are awesome. We're gonna go pass on the love with a role play. Now, here's what I was gonna ask. I have to check this out on Twitter on the page itself, because I know Din is streaming right now, but it's not on Twitch. I think he's streaming to Kickstarter, so I want to
Usurper.
I want to see if we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know a lot of people don't like IPAs.
Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. Our friend and our good friend and cast member Din Money, who could not be here tonight because he is in the last, I think, 2 hours to go of his Kickstarter for his hand-drawn video game, interactive visual novel that he's making right now. They're in their last 2 hours. They've raised $32,500, and so I think we're gonna. I want you guys, rather than raiding another Twitch channel, I'm gonna paste the link in chat. I want you guys to go to that Kickstarter page and just hang out with him in chat. He's live streaming to there. He's answering questions. They're taking pledges. So please do him a solid and go check that out. The link is there in chat. I'm gonna paste it a few times. And of course, if you go in chat, make sure you type the customary exploding dice raid. There we go. Let him know that we're showing him some love. So all of you guys, please go do that. Pass the love on, and we will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out, but as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because you might summon the avatar of Dagon and consume an entire town. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.